Okay, 10 seconds.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show. I'm MKT. What a time to be alive if you're a sports fan. Is it all burning down? Are we all going to have to move to the moon just to be able to enjoy a game of football? Maybe that's what's going to have to happen. Is it all about money? Is the working class losing its fine game? We've seen the signs. My God. The ESL. By the way, tiny little thing happened. A guy called Jose Mourinho. Heard of him? He is jobless. He is jobless. You're going to have to live under a bridge. Listen, that bridge is going to cost 15 million pounds. That is his payoff. That's another story. Tiny little thing that happened. Yeah, we'll talk Jose. We'll talk all of that. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined by the fine Afternaut coffee influencer. Beard guy. Third best Illingsley. James Illingsley. What's happening, pal?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Grand. How you doing?
Grand. Super beard. Looking good. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I didn't watch the Liverpool game last night.
What's the story? I did send you a text and you didn't reply.
I didn't watch the game. This whole Super League thing's got me shooketh, and I just...
Oh, really? Were you in your feels?
I don't know. It's sad. It really is.
Really? So you didn't watch because of the Super League?
Not because I'm like boycotting.
It's past his bedtime, though. Be honest, James.
Old habits die hard, huh? Guy's lived in his own apartment for like 3 years.
No, I don't know. It's taken the hype out of football.
Really?
Yeah.
So James, you in your feels about it, hey?
I am. I'm really sad about it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Paulo, president of all the Portuguese people on the planet of Portugueseness, Paulo Diaz. Paulo, I'm shooketh.
I just want to, you may have missed it because you were talking to camera and like glaring at your own handsomeness.
Yeah.
But James was sitting here waving at me like a little cartoon badger.
It's because you looked over at me and I didn't know what you wanted, so I just waved.
He like puts me away. It's like, I feel like I'm like a Rumple Forest, some cartoon nonsense I used to watch when I was a kid. It was very endearing, James. It was very sweet. Thank you for adding that to my day.
That is nice. That is nice.
He just looked at me.
It was nice. No, it was nice. It's like every time you look at somebody, you want to be waved at like that. So thank you, James.
Exactly. I got you.
Thank you.
You see him, huh, James?
I do.
How about James being so triggered he gave up on Liverpool, though? I did not realize that was a thing for you.
I'm just really like, it's like that picture I sent on the group last night with the RIP football thing.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Paulo, it's a new time.
I don't feel it. Like, I mean, I get the anger, and I understand what you're saying. It's like it all suddenly feels very irrelevant till like next week, and then it'll all like simmer down. But it's like it does. I get, James. It's too soon, too raw. It goes, well, what's it for? I mean, I can guarantee you that if it was a meaningful match that were putting Liverpool in the title race or for something, you'd watch.
Yeah.
But because your season's pretty much over, I don't blame you for not watching. So just be honest why you didn't watch. It's got nothing to do with evil Agnelli and more the fact that the season's over.
It's true. Bedtime and your season being over. That's two things. That overpowers.
It's a lot to take in. Bedtime, season over, you know.
So, James, you all in your feels, huh? But it's a new time. You know, you're allowed to feel now. Back in my day, you just, you grind it through.
Was Cowboys Don't Cry.
Number one. And then what you do with feelings is you press it down, let it turn into an ulcer. That's what
Yes.
real men did back in our day, you know?
And react violently at an inappropriate moment.
There we go.
This is it's a tough time for you guys to have lived in.
The world is an ugly place, James. It's not all roses and man buns and lattes.
Starbucks.
Tell Leeds that.
Yeah.
A lot of man buns in that team.
Far too many.
Hey?
Far too many man buns.
Pretty sure Harvey Elliott's one of the man buns.
He is the man. You know what they should do? Have a man bun cap. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that's a ridiculous thing because at a stage they had 4 on the pitch. No.
Last night.
Yeah, no, at Leeds. I remember watching. And who's the other guy that came back? Mixed race guy in the midfield as
Phillips.
well. Phillips.
Yeah.
He's man banning it. It's just man bun.
There was a man bun derby not too long ago where Leeds were playing somewhere. There were so many man buns. I think I counted 7.
Good lord.
7 man buns. That is a high percentage of man buns.
That's
it's
lots of man.
2021. Weren't man buns like 2017? What the hell's going on?
Yes.
I'm not one to know hair, but
It was Cape Town 2017
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
man bun season.
No, man buns got to go.
gotta go.
They got to go. All right, so Paulo, you're not in your fields. You're just like, the world will move on. But James could not even stomach it, huh?
It's I've been doing a lot of reading over the last sort of 48 hours on this whole thing to try and see what people are saying. It's just there's a lot of opinions back and forth and up and down, and clubs are releasing statements. And
Okay, well, we will talk about it. Paulo, you weren't here yesterday, but we'll get into it when we get into the little bit of social media and stuff later. We'll unpack it. And,
oh, believe me, social media with James today.
oh,
And I'm so excited.
Oh.
I'm
Teaser.
just doing the neutron dance. I'm so
teaser.
excited.
That's big teasing.
It's
In the
big
biz, we
teaser.
call it a tease. Oh,
Nailed it.
he's playing some music for himself there. James, you're a big producer, and you're on your fields. Paulo, great to have you here. James, great to have you here. Let's get into it. We'll start off with the tiny little thing. Jose Mourinho, tiny little thing. Paulo, first of all, Portuguese guy, your fellow Portuguese man. Before I express my opinion on this situation, Jose Mourinho is out of here. Reverberations in Portugal.
Keep him as far away from the national team as possible.
Lol.
Mourinho being fired isn't a headline anymore.
Wow.
It's just like Easter. It comes around once a year. Just
Jose.
keep him away from the national team. Whatever you do, we do not need that. We're in a good place. Everyone's feeling very good about themselves. We do not need him coming and making Daniel Podence and Pedro Neto. Oh, imagine Mourinho would kill Joao Felix. I think he would physically murder Joao Felix.
No, Joao Felix is not in the
Oh,
plan.
not-
Yeah, flair player who doesn't drop back. No,
Mourinho would, Ronaldo would explode.
Keep
him away.
They don't
Keep
even
him
talk
away.
to each other.
Keep him away.
Wow. Okay.
How do you really feel, Paulo?
Well, the whole of Portugal. Hey, no big deal. He put the whole country on the map as,
He put himself on the map.
I believe, the greatest manager of this generation, just behind Pep Guardiola. But Portuguese people say, hey, 2 trebles? Are you saying with Porto? Is that what you're saying? Get that the hell out of here. Inter Milan, you've gone as a Portuguese manager, gone to Italy, done something that's never happened before. Treble in Italy. Get the hell out of here. You went to England and defeated the greatest British manager of all time, went 2 in a row, had the greatest defense in the history of British football. Get that the hell out of here.
For your feels, you're talking about feels, okay? Portuguese players would not be averse to top knots, okay, and man buns. They would do it, right? There's a lot of like sensitive boys in that squad.
There are.
Okay, the manager of Portugal is an older dude, older gents, but he gets it.
Yeah.
Okay, he understands how to work it. Mourinho has always said he'd like to end his career managing Portugal. We do not need that drama in our lives. I cannot tell you how little. Jota, oh my God, Jota would cry in the corner.
Aw.
Jota would not attend an international break. He'd always be injured.
Jota is everything Mourinho doesn't like.
That's my boy.
Small, technical, and now with the huge injury, Mourinho does not like that.
Curly haired as well. I think he's got a thing against curly haired
Yeah, he
people.
does. Get a haircut.
Get a haircut? No. So the only person that could probably be happy about Mourinho coming would be Pep. Pepe. Well, I said Portuguese Pep. Pepe.
Yeah. No, they
That'd
are
be
made
a-
for one another. He's
that-
the only grown-up in that team.
That'd be the only person.
Wow. Okay. Well, what a morning. What a way to start. Portuguese people now. But listen, when Paulo says it, I just presume the whole of Portugal is thinking it. Portuguese people saying, hey, you are probably the greatest manager we've ever had. Go to hell, Jose Mourinho. Let me give you my take. When you get married, right, or you get into a relationship, you see in the movies, everyone says, if you're a rock star, marry an accountant. Right? There's this nonsense Instagram psychology. Opposites attract. If you're a rock star, you need the accountant. Oh my gosh, you guys will balance each other out. There's the biggest load of nonsense I've ever heard. Relationships are hard enough. Listen, what you want is somebody similar to you. You don't need to be exactly the same. But fit matters. And you know what's even more important in a relationship? Romantic, business, friends. It's really important when you meet each other, right? Fit matters, but it's really important. Not necessarily age, but we know girls generally mature quicker. So for ladies, you probably want to meet an older guy. But it matters when you meet somebody in life. Because if I'm 28 and I've got an apartment or 2 apartments and I'm renting one out and you're still living at home and you're 3 jobs in, no thank you. Don't add that. Relationships on their own are hard enough. I don't know why people watch Hollywood movies and think opposites attract. It's nonsense. Get somebody who's on the same page, somebody you can rely on. That's the person you want to be in a relationship with. Not everything is a Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks film. But fit matters. And here's where things were never going to work. Jose Mourinho, the problem with Jose is this. There are very few clubs that he's not bigger than. He's bigger than Spurs. So from the beginning, it was a problem. It was always going to be a problem from the beginning. Right? Because he's bigger than the club. It's almost impossible. It never happens. Fergie, after United, it would have been like him managing Everton. It wouldn't have happened. So Jose Mourinho overshadows Tottenham. Nobody ever spoke about Tottenham's ambitions. Where do they want to go next? What's a Tottenham team look like? It was Jose Mourinho this Monday to Sunday. That's really important. If you've got romantic partners, you understand people always tell you, what do they always say to you? I want to feel heard. Folks, businesses and clubs are very real things. They're very real things and very much alive. There are people working there. People. Daniel Levy is a person. Tottenham is alive. It is a living, breathing animal. Spurs could not be heard. And in a relationship, you cannot have a productive relationship if one part of it doesn't get heard. Mourinho is too big for Spurs. But that's not the other thing. Right? That's not the only thing. The other thing for me, the problem is this. And I've never understood it in football. Nobody got it like Alex Ferguson. Only one manager in the history of British football has understood this. Why are clubs so scared of players? I just don't understand. This idiotic thing that's just become a thing that the press say. You can't get rid of all the players, get rid of the manager. It's rubbish. You wouldn't need to get rid of all the players. Do you know what? If you let Jose Mourinho get rid of Dele Alli, maybe Davinson Sanchez if he doesn't like that, trust me, everybody falls in line. Everybody thought, oh, Jaap Stam's gone, the players will revolt. Everybody thought that. This was Jaap Stam prime, by the way. Prime, not falling off. He was off to AC Milan. Everybody thought, David Beckham, he's the golden goose. Man United, we're all corporate. Oh my goodness, we've let him go at his peak. What are the players going to say? He's one of the kids. Nobody said a peep. Nobody said a peep. Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's the greatest fox in the box in the world right now. What's Fergie doing? The dressing room's going to revolt. Why are clubs so scared of players? I do not understand this. Dele Alli should have been gone immediately when Jose arrives. Do you know why? But this is what happens. Spurs are too small. This is what happens when you have no self-worth and self-confidence. Why are you picking Dele Alli over Jose Mourinho? You'll find another Dele Alli. You are not finding another Jose Mourinho. I don't care what manager you get right now. I do not care. Globally, whoever you go for now, it is a downgrade. There are 10 Dele Allis waiting to play for Spurs. He had a season and a half. Why is Man United scared of Pogba? I don't get it. Get rid of people. Fergie already showed you the blueprint to win. But people get emotional. But here's the other thing. Winning, and also you have to be aware where you are in life. Fit matters. It matters when you meet your partner. If your partner is ready to move to Australia for her second job, and you still here because you can't get away from mommy, and you're still in a middle management job, and she wants to move because she's getting an executive role, that ain't gonna work. Fit matters, but even more important, it matters when you meet your partner. Spurs are not ready to win now. Mourinho wants to win now. Spurs want Chelsea and Real Madrid results with Spurs spending. Sorry, that ain't how it works. That ain't it. Not Mourinho's fault. Davinson Sanchez, Dyer, Reguilon, Aurier, second grade. And Ndombele, get out of here. Get out of here. Mourinho's not the problem. Mourinho's won wherever he's been. You haven't been in a cup final forever. He's in a cup final. Spurs have told me one thing. Folks, we are the things we do, not the things we say. Stop listening to Daniel Levy talking about winning and they want to go to the next level. They don't want to do that. You know why? Because it's ugly to go to the next level. What they'd like to do is keep doing Spurs things. Because if they wanted it, 150 million, Jose Mourinho would have been given that for the next 3 seasons. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Spurs are not ready to win. They are the guy who's stuck at home and needs mommy around when his girlfriend wants to move to San Francisco to explore a new tech job. Folks, it matters when you meet people. Spurs are not ready to win. Jose Mourinho is a winner, and that was a culture clash. Never ever think opposites attract. It's nonsense. It's rubbish. Opposites don't attract. Right? Apex predators should mix with apex predators. I've always told you this. An 8 should not date a 5. Jose Mourinho is an 8, and he's dating a 5. Don't do it. Don't let these ridiculous Instagram people who think they're psychologists and tell you, oh, it's about personality and connecting with the person. Rubbish. Relationships are hard. It's bloody brutal to win in life, and you better make sure the other person's on the same page. Spurs ain't on the same page. Not even close. And lastly, I want to finish off on this. Don't tell me it's the Super League money. Let me tell you something about money. If you think Spurs are going to become Real Madrid overnight, you're laughing. As they might say in North London, you're laughing. Because let me tell you what money does. Money makes you more of who you are. It doesn't change people. Daniel Levy's not about to go splash out on Haaland and Marcelo. That ain't happening. Spurs are a loser organization who didn't know how to deal with a winner. Folks, in life, production tolerance. Jose Mourinho takes you to the top. You're going to have to tolerate that personality. You have to tolerate the ugly football. Eventually, you will get to the promised land. Every place he's been. I look for patterns in life. I'm not interested in how people feel. What does a pattern tell you? Every club he's been at, even a horrendous Manchester United, who were a top 6 club, he came second, got them a trophy. They haven't seen it since. You tell me Mourinho, everybody tells me Mourinho, this nonsense that Mourinho's fallen off. Look at Man United. They're a mess without him. I did tell me about Oli second this year. Mourinho did that. Mourinho won a trophy. Mourinho is not the problem. This idea that winning will just happen, Levy, it'll all magically come across. They'll get 3 billion and they'll get Haaland. Trust me, you're going to have Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Harry Winks, Reguilon at left back. They're going to invest that in the stadium, share it with the NFL partners. This is what they are now. There's no excuse. There is no excuse for firing Jose Mourinho, but it tells me everything you are. Jose is going to be fine. Bayern Munich, AC Milan next season, put the house on it. He'll be fine. He'll be fine because those clubs are grown-ups. Maybe AC Milan less so. Bayern Munich, they don't care. Right? They got rid of Pep Guardiola. He was playing the best football they've ever seen, probably in Munich. They said, get the hell out of here. We don't want that tick-attacker stuff. That's not German. Grind, technical. Jose Mourinho, Bayern Munich up next. It's going to happen. And he'll be fine. And you know what's going to happen at Bayern? He'll probably win the Champions League. And people are going to go, oh my goodness, Spurs got it wrong. Spurs, loser organization. This is what losers do, though. They got no self-confidence. You don't realize what it takes to win. You want to win your way. That ain't how the world works. I find it ridiculous. And for any Spurs fans out there, before you tell me, oh, it was the result. Listen, what's the mandate at Spurs? Is it top 4? Because Harry came top 4, you fired him. Yes, Chelsea trumped them by winning the Champions League. But what's the mandate? Because I watched Pochettino give you top 4 for 3 seasons in a row and go to the Champions League final, and he was gone 6 months later. But you don't spend, and nothing's changed. Oh, it's always the manager's fault. Sorry, for Harry, okay, I'll give you Harry was outdated, if that's what you're going to say. Pochettino, okay, it came to an end. It can't be a third guy now, and it's Mourinho's fault all the time. Hey, loser organizations, they do what losers do. They do what losers do. Losing's a habit, and they are well in it. Clubs need to learn to move on from players. This moving on from managers thing is ridiculous. There is no other Jose Mourinho. There is only one Jose Mourinho. Listen, I know you love Harry Kane. Trust me, it's easier to replace Harry Kane than Jose Mourinho. Harry Kane only cares about himself. Players only care about themselves. It is easier to replace players. They're a dime a dozen. Academies are churning them out. Every single season, there's a sensation. And that's where you have it. Paulo, listen, the Portuguese people have spoken. They say Jose Mourinho can go to hell. But I think Spurs are doing Spurs things.
Mourinho being sacked wasn't even the third biggest story in Portugal yesterday. Okay, so a question for you, yes or no? Mm-hmm. You defended Mourinho quite passionately there. You don't feel he's done. You feel that he's just walking to Bayern Munich. You take him back at Chelsea tomorrow?
Over Tuchel? Or are you just saying if once Tuchel's done?
Mourinho's available, phones Abramovich, I want a job. Will you be happy that he's back at Chelsea?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Because do you know what? I care about winning. I care about winning.
Okay, what's his track record of winning? He does not have one.
What are you talking
In
about?
the past 4 or 5 years, he doesn't
When
have
was
a
the
track
last time he brought
What
home
happened
a
at Man
trophy?
United?
But United fans get slated because what Mourinho won, let's be honest, he won a League Cup, which, I mean, okay, right?
Okay.
And he won the Europa League. The trophies are trophies, I get it.
Yeah.
But at the cost of what he did, I mean, say everything you want about Solskjaer. I've said what, Pete, get all that, right? But how Mourinho broke those players down and instantly, and it says a lot about the player's character. And Spurs are going to do the same. Spurs are suddenly, don't be surprised if they beat City in the Cup. Don't be surprised if they finish strong because players are self-serving. They look after themselves,
100%,
right?
100%.
And suddenly they're just going to play football and everyone's going to be amazing. And because players are douchebags. But Mourinho's done, bro. Like, he's done at that top level.
I agree.
He just is.
So it's so interesting for me that you'd say that even as a United fan. Since Fergie left, no one else has been close. Like, not close. So forget the Mourinho just winning Europa League, and no one's been close to show you what a shambles he was in. And he still won 2 trophies, by the way.
It is. It was a shambles, no doubt about it. I don't deny that. But I go back to my question. So you would take, even with the potential that Tuchel has, and we all know that there is going to be an explosion with Tuchel at some point based on his track record.
Yeah.
Because like you say, people don't change.
Yep.
Mourinho goes back to Chelsea tomorrow and you're happy.
If I'm an owner, he is there's only 3 that I would take every single day. Because for me, I don't like to get caught up in what's happening now. Show me the last 10 years, and I know what you are as a person. For me as well, get rid of the players. It's this idea that Dele Alli is more important. There are more Dele Allis in academies now. Get rid of him.
So
Fergie did it.
You've said Mason Mount is the best young player in England right now.
For sure.
Mourinho walks in tomorrow, pulls a Dele Alli stunt on Mason Mount. What do you think?
Do Chelsea win? Okay, but that's important is what happens at the end of the season.
Mourinho's track record is he changes the style of play,
Yes.
breaks everyone down, gets some results, talks a lot of nonsense, and then the whole thing starts unraveling because the players are now constrained. They can't play. He doesn't allow them to play. We've seen it before.
100%.
He doesn't change.
100%.
Right? So based on that, based on what you see, Chelsea don't win. So now he's ostracized who you say is the best young player in England. I don't disagree with you. He's ostracized him. He's calling out the board. He's throwing players under the bus. And you're playing terrible football because that's eventually what happens.
Sure.
You're still happy.
If we win.
But you're not in this scenario because the way he's eventually descended in the past 3 clubs, leaving in acrimony, sure, he gives you a pot along the way.
Yeah. I'm in the winning business. I'm not in the making players happy business.
Mourinho's not in the winning business lately.
But his last job was United, wasn't it? He won 2 trophies. I don't understand. Where's this narrative that Mourinho is not winning?
I'm sorry. I'm a United fan. I do not count those trophies.
Okay. Wait, I have a question, okay? So how long has Mourinho now been at Tottenham?
A year and a half.
Okay. So if he's not done with his glory days of bringing Porto their glory days in Europe.
Or Man United, by the way, which was his last job. Yeah.
Whatever. Why hasn't he done that at Tottenham yet if he's still in his winning days? Why is he still struggling with
He's
Tottenham?
in the League Cup final. What do people want from this guy?
So Chelsea, who let's remember are recent league winners.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Recentish Champions League winners.
Yes.
How does you've won the league recently. A few players there that have still won the league. They won with Surrey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Conte.
They won with Conte. So there's still a few players floating around. You're happy if Mourinho, after that, with the potential, Chelsea have got potential. Chelsea are challengers next season.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah.
If Chelsea don't challenge, they've done something. Tuchel's messed up. But take that away. Mourinho comes, takes this club as it is. Next season, you're title challengers. This season, Champions League, done well. And Mourinho next season, all he brings you is a League Cup. You're happy.
Here's the thing about Mourinho. For me, I don't like people that do this in life. I know what I'm getting. You know you're going to have to swallow the poop sandwich for 3 years. Because first year he's going to need to get rid of. He might get rid of Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, because this is why.
And you take that.
Because I know there's not one place he's gone and not one. So for me, I'm not interested in making
Tottenham.
Tin pots.
No, he's in the final.
He's not
But
won
he
it.
hasn't won it in yet.
Because he's fired.
Exactly.
What I'm saying
Tin
is,
pots.
so if he goes and wins, listen, for Spurs, they win that.
Granted.
I'm saying the thing about Mourinho, give me all these other managers, right? Outside of Fergie, nobody, Fergie Pep, nobody's close. Every club, you're in the mix. Whatever you call them, tin pot. If they were so tin pot, by the way, everyone else at Arsenal would be getting to more finals. They'd be doing more stuff. Guaranteed. You get Jose Mourinho, you know what you're in? Finals. That's not how I feel. That's what's happened.
But on your logic, then Brendan Rodgers surely is in the mix.
Well, what with the Leicester?
FA Cup final. He did it at Celtic. Won trophies.
No, come on. I mean, listen.
It's trophies. You didn't specify. You said trophies,
Come on,
right?
come on. I mean, Steven Gerrard's just won the title.
Trophies are trophies. You said he wins.
No,
if you're happy with the
proper
League
leagues,
Cup,
proper leagues.
you're happy with the League
Yeah.
Cup,
Yeah.
but you're not happy with a 38-game tough championship. You still got to win it. You
No.
still got to win it.
Listen, Mourinho is not the
You're
issue.
lying.
And no, for me, people get upset when they get in a relationship with an animal and they go, I'll change him. You know what you're getting with Mourinho. You've got to be willing to swallow it for a season and a half because that's what it takes. Because you know what he wants to do. Get rid of anybody under 25.
And-
you know that.
And I'll give credit to Daniel Levy. And I mean, if you watch that Amazon documentary, Levy was infatuated with him.
Oof.
He just could not believe that he had that level of manager at Spurs, right? That's exactly what Levy
Sure.
was. Levy accepted, and Levy's hard-nosed. Levy's not romantic. That's what's quite surprising to seem like that. You dance with the devil, don't be surprised when he steps on your toes.
100%.
Okay, and that's Mourinho, right? And Levy's not surprised. Mourinho stepped on it. He's fine. Okay, that was the cost of Mourinho. I expected a bit more, and probably pandemic break maybe interrupted that because Spurs were looking decent round and we saw what happened there. But there's two issues here. There's the Spurs and what Spurs are issue, and suddenly they big six, which is just offensive.
Just unbelievable.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just
It's
offensive.
unbelievable.
And then there's the Mourinho issue. I think we're going to get our dream of seeing Scott Parker as Tottenham coach.
I
You
agree.
think so?
Yeah, it's going to happen. no, but I think you're onto something. Listen, he played and they loved him at Spurs.
They got big ambitions. I think they got Nagelsmann and things like that. But I would like to see that. It'll all end gloriously. But then I think there's the Mourinho issue. I don't think Mourinho goes to a Bayern Munich. That's just... I was showing James, sorry, just on that, is that Klopp is furious and wants talks with FSG.
Okay.
Probably, how can it be so windy? How didn't you sort out that the grass was too green or whatever?
Yeah.
Chances of Klopp walking out and taking the Bayern job?
No chance.
Speculation.
Oh, no.
No, I know that's ridiculous, but Mourinho doesn't get Bayern Munich. Mourinho, I can't see where he goes back to. But like you say, someone will always be desperate enough. Someone will always think they can change him. Or that it'll be end differently.
So give me 3 managers right now in world football. If you want to win, get out of the how you feel and the football, right? Give me 3 managers right now you'd take, and if you want to win big. You are Real Madrid manager. And you can have anyone. Zinedine Zidane's out, whatever. He's taking sabbatical. Give me 3 managers right now you'd take. And it's about winning. I don't care about the football. Who guarantees me more to get to some sort of final, some sort of silverware?
Pep,
Okay, cool.
Klopp.
I don't know about that. He won
What,
one season.
after one season
One
now
season.
that he's being terrible?
He's won one season, and now he's fallen off a cliff. They're going to come 8th. So he doesn't guarantee me anything, actually.
I think we've spoken about before. You have to go that season where Liverpool and City finished on a ridiculous points total.
97. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, winning's winning, but I mean, my God, that is like... You've got to even... I've got to even say to Liverpool supporters, that is as good as a title
I
win.
did say that. I said
where
yeah,
you got.
Yeah.
And that season, that season they won the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the one that
No, it was that season.
Oh, was it that
Yeah.
season?
Was it that season? Then Klopp had 3 years of big success.
Yes.
Okay, even though this changed, but 3 years of big success, and I do think Klopp wins you things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he will win you things, and then Hansi Flick. You want 3? That's my 3.
Okay, Hansi Flick's an interesting one. He's been in a proper job 8 months, and now he's Wow. Okay. No, fair enough. Well, there is no way. For me, Pep is the only one I'd take over him. The rest, I don't know what I'm getting with Klopp. Mourinho's done trebles in 2 different countries. He's showed me he can do it in any environment. You go to Italy.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done it again in Italy. So don't tell me that treble doesn't matter, because Juventus have had 3 times the revenue of everybody else, and how many managers, and they can't get close to it.
I just see that, having been on both sides of Mourinho, having seen him at Chelsea and Real Madrid and Inter and been jealous, he should have come to United at that point. He came to United way too late. Then he comes to United bitter and broken and spiteful and mean, and he just, I mean, think what you think of players nowadays, and there are players nowadays. You just have to treat them differently. It is actually ridiculous how you go, is this Mourinho narrative media made, or does it follow? But it just follows. It just 100% absolutely follows the story all the time. And it's got to be... You
think it's him, huh?
It's 2 decades. He's 20 years at the top. And very few people in any walk of life do 20 years at the top.
Well said. So you think no Bayern Munich for him?
No, I can't see what he does next. He'll get something. There will always be someone. He's got a good agent. Someone will always have a project.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like it to be my club again. We've been there. Been there.
Been there too many times. Seen it. 1 too many trophies.
2 tin pots.
Oh, it's a tin pot now.
You've won fake Europe in a tin pot.
I never held those up. It's like, okay, yes, it's winning. Maybe it sets up a winning mentality. That's the only thing. As a United fan, can you really go, oh, but you won? It's like, yeah, okay, he won. Like, I'm not like, that's not what we're about. That's not where we should be.
I'm going to be sick at what James has just said. Liverpool fans can't stop telling me about Rafa's treble. And all of a sudden, the League Cup's a tin pot now.
How many times have I brought up Rafa's treble?
No, but Liverpool, hey? We know Rafa did the treble nonsense. Or who was it? Houllier, hey?
Was it Houllier?
Yeah, it was Houllier. Oh, the treble. And now it's tin pot. It's unbelievable to me. And you know what? I understand. I think Jose Mourinho leaves a bitter taste in everyone's mouth because you know what's going to happen, right? He's unapologetic. He's going to come in and he behaves like a player, actually, Jose Mourinho. He behaves more like a player than a manager, because a manager should care about everyone. Mourinho goes, I'm going to come in here. Everybody get out. We're going to win our way. And if you want to hang around, cool. That's awesome. That's like a player. Me. The Mourinho machine. Valdano had to go. Valdano from Real Madrid.
Exactly, yeah.
Valdano had to go.
One of the what does Valdano
I mean,
as a players?
He was all-time Argentine.
The Vultures, part of what are they called? Anyway, yeah.
I mean, all-time. If you don't know who Jorge Valdano
legend
is.
of Real Madrid,
and Argentina, Alba Celeste legend, this guy, right? Sorry, you got to go. I need my own executive. And Mourinho wants to take over the whole club. He doesn't want to take over a part of it and I'll just coach. It's very rare to get a Mourinho, right? Nowadays, everyone wants a football director. He's not in that business. I got my agent. What's the correct way to say? George Mendes. And Mendes, we take care of business together. I don't need anybody hovering around. And Valdano found out the hard way. I think this is what happened at Spurs. Mourinho's like, I know how to win, Daniel. Daniel says, well, Jose, we got a 5-year plan. I know how to win, Daniel. Get out the way. And, Daniel ain't moving for nobody.
I'd love to see Mourinho at an underdog, like a true underdog.
Do you mean like Porto?
Well, that sort of vibe.
2 trebles in a row.
A Newcastle, a Wolves, just an underdog, a team that will absolutely, everyone will idolize him. Go, I cannot believe this man is here. I cannot believe he's come here. I would love to see him that. And I think that's how he rebuilds his reputation. That, for me, is the story.
I'd love to see him at Leicester, if I'm honest.
Something like that.
Leicester or Wolves.
An underdog. Look, to be fair, Leicester have as many Premier League titles as Liverpool. So just like,
that's
not
hurtful and true. That is hurtful and true.
I will always find an angle, James. I will always
wow.
find it.
I didn't say anything before the show today to make you upset, did I?
I know, it's more a Liverpool thing than a James thing.
Hashtag wow.
But I would love to see Leicester. I'd love to see him at Sevilla, an underdog. That's at Atalanta. Atalanta would explode because they play this beautiful football. But I'd love to see him, because that's where I think he is now. Scrappy, you're nobodies, you're nothing without me, no one's got a reputation, I'll make you winners. And that's where I think his story goes.
if I'm Jose Mourinho, there is no chance. I've got nothing left to prove. And I think this is the way he'll go. If he doesn't get the Bayern Munich gig, he goes to Italy, Juve, they'd love him. You know, Italy
Yeah,
will love
they would take him.
Italy
They would take him.
will
Yeah,
love him.
Yeah,
Try again, try for the treble again.
Agnelli and Mourinho,
Oh.
the axis of evil.
With George Mendes.
Ronaldo explodes.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? Scorsese directs that film.
Huge.
Oh.
I'm watching that.
That's what's the Godfather Part 4?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
I'm watching that.
It's
That'll be
happening.
glorious.
Sorry, forget Bayern Munich. What am I talking about?
Yes.
Karl-Heinz
That's glorious.
Rummenigge, forget about that.
That's what I want.
Juventus.
Yes.
And then they fix the league again. That's how to do it.
Axis of evil.
And
I
then
love that.
Mourinho, they get caught. Mourinho says, hey, Jose out. Drop the mic. Get the hell out of here.
Yo, I just want to see Ronaldo sulking. Yo, you ate that.
Jose Mourinho. Huh?
He will not be pleased.
So, it's unbelievable to me, Paulo, that you, as the president of Portuguese people, the man who planted the flag for other Portuguese managers, and this is what you say to him, go to hell.
Did you actually plant the flag?
No,
Is
Jose
that
Mourinho
you,
did.
the person?
No,
who's the-
listen, what Mourinho did is phenomenal. What he did with Porto, what he did for himself. But he was a standard bearer for Portuguese football. But I think, and without him, there wouldn't have been this open market of Portuguese football and players and that. But I just think we're more than he is now. Cynical, dirty, hard, you know, bastardly. I think we're just a little bit more than that now, and we've got more players and more managers that have just proven there are lots of other ways in our football.
No other Portuguese manager has left and done what he's done, though. No other.
I think no.
AVB failed.
No, but he's won leagues. A lot of Portuguese managers. I mean, there was one season where 5 Portuguese managers won. Okay, farmers leagues if you want.
Sure.
But it's not to say that there aren't. There's Portuguese managers winning Copa Libertadores 2 in a row. 2 Portuguese managers in a row won Copa Libertadores.
And that is a tough tournament.
Won leagues in Greece, Ukraine. Paulo Fonseca's doing well at Roma. So I think
He's the godfather.
Nuno's doing well at Wolves. Yeah, he is, and he
The
opened
bar's
the door.
too high. The bar's too high. Maybe I'm not thinking about it logically. Is 2 trebles like no one's gonna?
Listen,
maybe no manager in the world has done what Jose has done.
Chelsea supporters love Mourinho, and you can't take that away. What he did for your club, he validated you and was the right person at the right club at the right time.
What about Porto? You're talking like I'm just talking about Chelsea.
But Porto's had success.
But like that, Paulo, 2 trebles in a row. I mean, the one is the Euro Light, but
I think there are good managers in Portugal. Villas-Boas didn't do a treble, but Villas-Boas did a league and a UEFA Cup then double. The Champions League thing is great. I mean, that is why it's remembered. But Porto have had success. It's not like they don't win.
yeah. What about Inter?
You can talk to me of Inter. I mean,
and
and
Inter
I take the point.
we're a
Inter.
loser club. Listen,
take the
Forza Inter, but the treble.
I'll take the point in Inter.
And England. He conquered England. He
So-
conquered Fergie.
It makes sense why you've got that affinity to him, because you supported 2 clubs that saw the best of him.
Yeah.
I unfortunately saw the worst of him.
But I would have thought Portuguese people would like him. But if Paulo says it, Portuguese people hate Jose Mourinho. That's the takeaway. Clip that, James.
I loved Mourinho even when he was at Chelsea. I loved him. He pulled Fergie's pants down time and time again. He should have been Fergie's successor, no doubt about it. But it just went on too long, and he came back at the wrong time, and he came back with all that baggage. And I supported him for a long time. United supporters said, no, this and this. I was like, no, give him time. I was where you are. I was like, give him time. But it's just, I wouldn't want him at any of my teams. Done.
Do you think there's any owner? I think the one owner who's mature enough to do it is Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, because Bayern Munich are just so strong on their own. Do you think there's any other owners in the world? Because what you really have to do, like we were saying just now, imagine he goes to Liverpool. That'd be amazing. I'd love to see James's face.
Jose.
Oh, James, you were trying to keep awake over here.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp right now is having the FSG.
Sorry, I cried myself to sleep last night. I didn't sleep much because my team just gave up on me.
That's okay. It happens.
You gave up on them.
Yeah, I mean, there
did
was
do that.
general giving up, right? But you need the owners. I just want to finish off on the Jose thing. Is there anyone mature enough to go, okay, we're getting Jose, we have to get the hell out the way for a year and a half? Or do you think it's over now, that allure of the special one?
I wouldn't like to preempt what any football club owner is thinking at this point in time.
Okay. No,
As
well
we
said.
see, there are Machiavellian evil people. Florentino Perez just posted that they're considering making games shorter than 90 minutes
I swear.
because
I swear.
football fans' attention is now different. So who knows what the hell they're thinking?
That's hot off the socials.
I swear.
Wow.
I'll watch ballet.
James, you are in your fields.
I
huh?
am.
Oh my God! I hope Jose Mourinho goes to Liverpool. Did you say Klopp's in a meeting right now with FSG?
He's demanded a meeting.
He's the one. Oh, I quit. Great. Don't worry about it. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. By the way, Jurgen, Jose, why are you in town, son?
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Mourinho stood up to leave. He said, I'm not into this European Super League. I want out. I'm out. I'm making a stand.
That is
I've
apparently
heard
what
reports.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
About the
Hey, listen, 15 million to get the hell out of town.
Oh, no way.
You don't think so, hey?
There's no ways he took the moral high ground. Never.
apparently he delayed training and then he
I'll-
said the players aren't training because of the new announcement or whatever, and then the board was unhappy and then they sacked him.
If you believe that, Mourinho is a master manipulator of the press. He put that story out to suit his needs or leak that or whatever. There is no way.
So it's over, huh?
President of the Portuguese people does not like Jose lying.
No, I don't like him lying. You have to like him lying because I think he's always lying. Listen, he's box office. I love him as a character. He is spectacular. Everything he says is hilarious. That nonsense last week about feeding his sons, and he's just a ridiculously great person. But I do not want him anywhere near any of my football teams.
All right. Well, there you have it.
There you go.
Jose Mourinho, go to hell. Don't even come back to Portugal. You might as well live in England. Basically, I've summed it up. I
Just
think
stay
James-
in London for now.
Yeah, or don't even come back to Portugal. All your statues that we got. Where's that statue?
No statues. He doesn't have a statue.
Not a statue in
No,
Portugal.
not even in his hometown.
I find this unbelievable. Like, this guy who goes to Europe is the greatest manager for a stretch of 10 years. No other Portuguese manager has done it.
Yeah, but remember, Portuguese football is like he won for Porto.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Porto. So Benfica, who's the biggest, most supported club in the Portuguese community
Yeah.
worldwide, hates Porto. So they've got nothing.
I had no idea,
They got
actually.
no affection for him. Sporting supporters hate Porto. So, but everyone hates Porto. So why the hell are we going to celebrate a coach who
Amazing.
made them
Yeah.
more powerful and strong? We hate them. So why would anyone celebrate it?
Would you say the hate of Benfica fans for Porto is greater than the Portuguese hate for the English? Because the one thing I realized when I went to Portugal, they do not like English people, just like France.
They don't, but they love their pounds as
They
tourists.
do.
So
They do. We're in the Algarve.
I'll go, yes.
Hey, James,
where
where they make tequila.
Little in joke there.
Some of stuff's for us.
Yeah.
Some of the content on here will be just for us.
Tequila is made in Portugal.
And that
guys.
was
Don't
so
you know
great.
this?
That was so great.
That is.
It is.
The funny thing about Portuguese football is that Portuguese supporters will always support a Portuguese side in Europe. So if Porto are doing well, like a lot of Portuguese backed Porto against Chelsea, but wouldn't be happy to see them win. Or even I don't know about that because Porto doesn't have that many Portuguese players. I think it's more that you support Portuguese players in Europe. But no, I mean, like across Portugal, it's like, okay, fine, but he made one of our biggest rivals even bigger and stronger and more powerful than us. So granted, he did well, but I don't love him.
You know, it's the old adage. People want you to do well, not too well.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Okay, let's move on to this. Sticking with Spurs a little bit, but some of the most ridiculous stuff I've heard. Listen, the Harry Kane leave stay thing. I've read a lot of articles now. Harry wants to go. He may go for this price. He may stay for this price. Before we get into that, listen, nobody's ever going to love you like your mommy's going to love you.
It's true.
Hey?
It's true.
Nobody on this planet, James. I mean, he still has a bedtime and he lives alone. He's lived alone for 4 years. That's mommy.
I'm a mommy's boy.
Exactly. Mom's okay if you're drunk, late, irresponsible, you have a baby on the side. It doesn't matter. Just come home, my boy. Dinner's in the oven. Here's the problem. The rest of the world, and people find this out at around 23, 24, actually don't care. They don't think you're so precious. I'm not going to wake you up twice to see where you are, why you're late for work. Nobody cares, right? Get to work on time. I don't care what's happening with you. I don't care that you broke up with your girlfriend. It's not my problem. Your mommy would, though. Nobody's going to love you like a mommy. Harry Kane tells me he's leaving. I'm hearing all this from agents and Sky Sports and everyone saying he's leaving. Stop it. Stop it, Harry Kane. Where's he going? Number one, he's injury prone now. Nobody's going to put up with Harry Kane getting injured once a year. We've just paid £120 million for you. And also the problem with Harry Kane, this idea that he's become a false nine and he's capable of being a hybrid. Folks, he's a fox in the box. That's where he really wants to be. He doesn't give you much outside of that range, right? That's where he wants to be. So I actually need to reshape my whole team in order for Harry Kane to function. I can't have you missing 15 games a season for £150 million for an injured 28-year-old. I'm sorry, I can't have that. Tottenham will swallow that. And you know what the problem with Harry Kane is? He's a physical beast. What does that mean? He takes time when he comes back from injury to recover. There are some physical freaks who give them a game or two, they're back in it. Nobody's tolerating a guy who's out for 15 games a season and he takes 5 games to recover in the season. Listen, folks, which other club, because I think he can only go to England because of the economic situation. Real Madrid is the only other club who can afford him. But where's he going to go that's a step up from Spurs? Like a real step up. Chelsea don't want him. Chelsea have enough up there. The other place is Man City. The only place he could go is Man City. They've got Brazil's number 9. I'm not paying you 140 to come and be rotation. They are trouncing the league without Harry Kane. Why wouldn't they just upgrade elsewhere? So City's not happening. Forget it. They're twice as good as anybody in the league right now without Harry Kane. Why do you pay for £150 million pay £150 million and you're not going to improve? And the other thing, folks, you know when you leave home, again, your mommy and daddy, sorry, man, your boss may have been mean to you. Your boss may have mean this. Let me tell you something once he leaves Tottenham. He goes to Manchester United. He goes to Chelsea. He goes to Man City. We don't want to hear settling in period. Real Madrid don't want to hear settling in period. You're 28 now. You better come here, and we expect 40 goals in the first season. And we don't want to hear about the injuries. We don't want to hear about the moving problems. You have to move your family. Kane just had a new baby. If you have a baby, you know how hard it is for your wife to move, make new friends, have a new network. She may trust the doctor she has now already. Listen, these are still people. Real Madrid don't want to hear it. Parents, decent parents anyway, don't want to be away from their kids. He goes to Madrid, does what? Lives away from his brand new baby. Expectations are immediate. That is not, you do not want to be leaving what you are now. Folks, this is what he is. If Harry Kane wanted the next level, he would have left. And don't give me the nonsense about, he's all Tottenham all the time. Stop. And number 4, the reason he has not left, he knows he will never be loved like he's loved at Spurs. Winning's awesome. Winning is awesome. Ask Robin Van Persie, and he said it in interviews. Van Persie regrets leaving Arsenal. He loved winning the title. And I'm not making that up. You can go and Google it. It's on YouTube. He wishes he could have stayed at Arsenal. He went to Arsenal and said, guys, who are you buying? No one. All right, I got to go. He didn't want to leave. The winning's sweet. He went to United, of course, the rest is history. Winning sweet. Harry, stay where you are. If you win one title with Tottenham, it's forever. You go to Man City, you're just another dude. And folks, I don't think he wants that. He doesn't need that kind of heat. It's nice now. You know, mommy will wake you up, breakfast in bed. They love, it's airy. He goes to Man City, you're just another dude. And the worst thing that can happen to you in the world, David Moyes found this out. You don't want to be the guy after the guy. Sergio Aguero, heard of him? Because every chance you miss, you know what happens? Aguero would have stuck that. Aguero would have stuck that. That is the 5th thing. All the expectation and all the blame will be with you. Because Harry, we've won without you. What now? City's the only place he can go. You want to replace Aguero? Who wants that job? And if you think... I've heard a few people saying Harry Kane's in Aguero's class. I mean, you know, what are we doing here? If you think you're going to replace Sergio Aguero and immediately step into those shoes and be as loved... Listen, footballers are ego animals, right? They are ego animals. Harry Kane loves the love he gets at Tottenham, and he knows it, and he knows they'll forgive him for all the chances he misses. He knows that year they should have won the title. That's actually Harry Kane's fault. Carry us to the promised land, Jamie Vardy, a little more character than you. And no excuses, no injuries in that season. Harry, that's on you, mate. He knows they'll... That's all right. It's Harry. He goes to Man City, does that. You better believe. You had better believe that's going to be a problem. And let me tell you another thing. Man City ain't going nowhere, and Pep Guardiola ain't going nowhere. Harry wants the record. He goes there. Ask Raheem Sterling what happens when you don't perform under Pep Guardiola. Raheem Sterling costs a packet. He's one of the highest paid players in the Premier League. Get on the bench. Harry wants the record. Harry's injured often. He wants to play all the time. Pep Guardiola ain't about that. Harry, stay at Spurs. Stay at Spurs, because that's what he is, folks. We're not the things we say. We are the things we do. He's had plenty of chances to get out. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. You're 28 now. This is what you are. And if you leave now, the injuries are not getting better. Injured young, injured old. No footballer in the history of the sport has all of a sudden gone from injury prone to Cristiano Ronaldo at 28. It's a real thing now, right? And everybody says, yes, but he still plays. Folks, you've seen what it is when Harry comes back, 5-6 games, and it's a nightmare for Tottenham, and they just have to suck it up. This is what happens. Man City ain't doing that. Harry wants the record. You go to Man City, big pressure. Stay at Spurs. Stay at Spurs. Nobody's going to love you like that. And it's hard, folks. It's hard. Everybody wants that heat until they get there. Harry Kane, he don't want it. He don't want it. And if I'm him, there's no chance. There's no chance I'm going to United. United's a mess. Nobody, if you want to win, that is not where you want to be right now. And the expectation doesn't lower at United, by the way. Don't think, oh, okay, they haven't won for a while. You go to Manchester United, it's not Spurs anymore. Right? At Spurs, when you win, oh, it's unbelievable. At Man United, you win, well, you did what you should have. It's two different worlds. So it's just like your mommy. You know, your mom, when you come back and say, Mom, I made a sale at work today. Oh, my boy, you're the best in the world. You get to the office, your manager says, excuse me, where are the next 6 sales? It's a whole different world. Harry doesn't want that. Otherwise, he would have moved at 25. I just would not. There's no way. There's no way I would leave if I'm Harry Kane.
I think you're being too harsh on Harry Kane, if I'm honest. And I'll tell you why. So, first I want to ask you a question. Okay, you say Harry Kane, no footballer goes from being injured to turning into Cristiano Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, like Iron Man.
So, then explain how this season Harry Kane is the league's top goal scorer.
Sure.
By 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of Mohamed Salah and Bruno Fernandes himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to make a connection.
When you're comfortable, it's very easy to perform. Mo Salah's comfortable, but actually they've been rubbish, and a big part of Liverpool being rubbish is on Mo Salah's shoulders. No one wants to say it, right?
We'll say it. We'll say it.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
Salah is selfish. He doesn't work for the team. Salah plays for Salah.
But nobody wants to say it, right? Like,
Sure.
the aim is to win as well. Pep Guardiola has dropped Sergio Aguero before at the beginning was, sorry, you're not fitting into the system. Saying the next level. At Tottenham, this is praised. At Man City, oh, okay, well, come to work. We'll see you tomorrow. You got a hat-trick. Are you top of the league? How's the team doing? So this idea that it's going to translate. By the way, at Spurs, everything's shaped around him. You should be scoring this many goals, Harry. Quite frankly, you should be. You're going to have to sacrifice at Man City because Phil Foden is going to go for goal. He's not putting it across goal for you.
Also, you're competing for the front line with Gabriel Jesus, possibly Haaland, Lord knows.
And people need to be careful about, in your own life. Once there's expectation, it's a whole new world. The pat on the back that he gets at Tottenham, and I love it for him. Because, and we're seeing it now with the Super League, which we'll talk about, is he's a connection to the people. There's a whole different kind of love to that. They love the lad. Stay there, and there's never expectation. He leaves. This injured thing, nobody's tolerating that. So the goal thing, of course, the team's shaped around him. At Man City, by the way, we'll see you're on the bench on Wednesday because you didn't run however many Ks Pep wants. It's a whole different beast. So, of course, Harry Kane should be top of the league. Nobody else gets the ball in the box. No, that whole system is him and Son. So, no shock. No shock there. I'd like to see when he goes to the next level and it's about winning. It's not the same deal.
Okay, fair enough. And then you also said that Harry Kane is not on the same level as Sergio Aguero. Some seasons he hasn't been. But then explain how Harry Kane has just recently joined a very small group of football players that's made up by Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry, Sergio Aguero, and now Harry Kane himself. So it's only 4 players that have ever done this in the Premier League, scoring 20 goals in the Premier League season 5 times.
Yeah.
How is he not on the same level as Sergio Aguero?
Look, again, you know what the great ones do? The team must win as well. All of those other ones, even Shearer, that's why I don't rate Shearer. I think Shearer is my 5th best striker in Premier League history, was that you need to carry the team to the promised land. That's a huge part of it as well. If you do it in that ecosystem, it does change things for me. And Kane had his chance. The Leicester season, he has no excuses. There were no injuries. If you're truly that next level, you take us to the promised land. The team's built for Harry Kane. It makes all the sense in the world that he's the top goal scorer. Where's the team stuff? And that's where the Aguero is bringing everyone with. Not only am I scoring goals, I'm bringing people in. And also, he's probably an unbelievably demanding man. You know, he's not that guy. So where's the winning? I need to win. And my team must win as well. That's a big thing. And Kane had his chance. So I don't want to hear Tottenham have never had a chance. They should have beaten Leicester that season. We all know that. Eden Hazard showed him up that evening. And sport is about moments. Where was Harry then?
And to, just to I mean, stats, we live in an age of stats now, which often your eyes tell you something different. But it's exactly to your point. Aguero and Henry carried on scoring those goals in winning teams. Shearer and Kane are not in winning teams, which means that, and I bet you look through those, and it's not hard to find Tottenham, and I'm sure with Newcastle, for every 20 goals Shearer scored in that season, next highest scorer, if they got double digits, then I'm very surprised. Where I bet you go through Henry and Aguero, next top scorer was also probably in double digits, meaning that it's an all-round better team, plus they're dragging the team, plus they're making other players around them better. Where Kane and Newcastle, to your point, Kane and Newcastle, to your point, there's always been great goal scorers, but they've not necessarily translated into serial winners. And to do the two is phenomenal, and that's why there's a handful of players who did it. So I think once you start looking at those, you go, the team is built. Newcastle, I remember, Tottenham's the same. Everything is built to get that number 9 goals. Everything. Kane's phenomenal. Kane will score goals wherever he goes. He will score goals wherever he goes. Does he win trophies? I don't know. Look at maybe England. Maybe that's a good point. He's a great goal scorer. If he is such a good goal scorer, England would have won something.
System.
And exactly. He'll score the goals, but at the cost of someone else scoring goals. And I think your greats still score goals, and everyone scores goals.
See, here's the difference as well, is Aguero. You look at Pellegrini, you look at Mancini, you look at Pep now. 3 completely different managers. Same guy, banging goals. Harry Kane, for all of his whatever it is, every time the manager comes, what eventually happens? Oh no, let's get around Kane again. Because there is no other dimension to I'm in the box and put it in. Aguero's full package. Coach, don't even worry about it. Pep had to make him run around a little more than he likes at the beginning, but okay, I got it now. And everyone's better, by the way. I'm jet fuel. I don't see that with Harry Kane, but I think there's this sort of correlative error that we always make. Because when you get to elite institutions, people always think, those people are so lucky, right? And it's easier if you go there. I've always said this. It is much harder to play in winning teams than it is at Tottenham and whatever. And this is in life, by the way. Because at Man City, there is no room for, sorry, I missed that, and now it's 2-2. Everything matters. Everything's on TV. You are under the microscope. Expectations are killer. Harry has never dealt with that. It's a much easier world. And people always say, Pep always does it with money and this, and Mourinho always did it with money and this. Folks, when there's expectation, it is through the roof. If you work at a bank right now, and you work at HSBC, or you work at some tiny little bank where the computers don't work, expectation at HSBC, every single day, you'd better be there. And we better win, by the way. Nobody cares about your feelings. Pitch up, you're sick, you're injured, get to work. We want to win internationally. So being at a better institution is much harder than being at Tottenham. I'm far more impressed with Kun Aguero than I am with Harry Kane. Now, Harry Kane goes and does 3 seasons at Man United and takes him to the promised land, whole different beast. But I haven't seen it yet. And he had the chance already to leave. He clearly doesn't want to leave. Because listen, the guy's smart. Harry's smart, right? You look at his PR record.
Harry Kane has played a blinder in this Mourinho situation, because everything you read said that Mourinho is safe while Kane is happy with him. And that's what everything always said. And all the insiders, everybody who knew said, as long as Kane's happy, Mourinho is safe. Which
Smart guy.
means that at some point Kane is not happy, but has walked out of this. England captain, diplomatic, not a hair out of place. He maintains the upper ground. Post, so great to work with you. But it wasn't Levy who pulled the trigger. At some point over the past few days, Kane has had a conversation, who knows, even on that massive yacht of the Spurs owner, and said, we're done.
Yeah.
He's out. And do not doubt for 1 second Kane had that conversation.
When stuff gets out, people want it out. And the way it's pristine, his image is pristine.
He is
That's
phenomenal.
deliberate.
That comes England captain 101.
So listen, expectation. I love people that go to elite institutions and continue to deliver there, because there you're not special. There, Kun Aguero has to get to Man City and suppress his ego. There is no love there. Pep Guardiola is not in love with any Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Samuel Eto'o. I will argue probably the best striker La Liga's ever had in modern day football. Get the hell out immediately. Samuel Eto'o. So Pep has no love for anybody. If people think Kun Aguero is having a kushti, you're joking. But bang, 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 and we win.
I found a picture of Harry Kane when he scores his 400th Premier League goal. Looks like Santa Claus.
Throw those up on the socials.
Listen,
I'm going to retweet it.
if you're Harry, just stay, because the injuries are going to be a problem now. You're going to go elsewhere, and then you know what? The papers are probably going to turn on you. He's smart.
And you know, it's a thing also in England. I think what he is smart, and he will stay at Spurs because everything's built for him. And maybe, you know, it's the whole Shearer thing. And I said it the other day. Probably winning a League Cup with Spurs means more than winning with somebody else. And he's a Spurs boy, and he'll carry that thing, like you say. If you don't score at Manchester, in Manchester, soft Londoner. Look at the Londoner comes up, can't handle it. You will never be embraced.
Yeah, and Aguero,
At that
right?
level.
Imagine he go, because where else can he go? United.
No, that's
You
not
got
gonna,
Greenwood.
and you're going to be compared to Aguero wherever you go, and you're going to come with a massive price tag. He will stay, and because he know his career, he's managed it superbly. England captain, you don't want to compromise that. You don't want to risk that. You're safe. You're safe as houses. Everything works. Maybe the Spurs plan's a little bit derailed because no fans in the stadium. I think he'll have his glory day, and I hope he does it, because he seems to be football. He seems to be a nice guy. Seems to be one of football's good guys. Throwback. So, you know, I hope he gets success one day.
And listen, too many people in life. Stop trying to be happier than happy. Like,
Yeah.
you're happy,
He's
at
happy.
Spurs.
He's happy.
You know people in life, right? Hey, Paulo, I'm sure you have mates who just can't stay in a relationship just because the girlfriend wants him home on a Sunday or whatever. You know, you like.
I'm at the age where it's the second wife wants him home.
Oh
on
yeah.
Sunday,
Well, I mean, James.
All three of us live in completely different worlds. That's truly bizarre.
we reflect our listeners. That's why it's so amazing. Our listeners and our viewers.
Sure,
they,
James.
They adapt to each and relate to each one of us.
Exactly, James. We picked you. Actually, we went through your entire social media for 6 weeks to see if you really had a girlfriend.
We put you in an algorithm.
Yeah. No, you're not here because
You were scouted.
you weren't the best option. You just fitted into the chemistry.
What did the computer spit out with the algorithm?
Fits in well.
404 error.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Oh, who's got the time? It's a pandemic. Just get that guy in. Yeah, listen, Harry, don't try and be happier than happy. And to all people, don't try and be happier than happy. Before we go to a break, though, I thought we'd... James, should we go social media with James?
James. Do you want to do that before a break?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some social media with
Sure.
James.
Okay.
James. Let's get a little bit of bed music for some social media with James.
Like such.
Yeah, that's good. That's big production. That's big production.
James, I need to speak to my people to get you a jingle.
Yeah.
I've got people who can make jingles.
Yes.
I need
No,
to,
we'll make James a jingle.
Please.
We'll make you a jingle.
maybe someone could make James a jingle.
Yeah,
Submit. Why not?
If
I'll
you're a
speak to my
musician out
people.
there, hey, listen. If you are somebody out there and you're creative, we will give you a credit. Will I pay you? Absolutely
No,
not.
Zero.
I might even ask you for money. Paid to be on the platform. But if you got some music for social media with James,
Hit us up in the DMs.
slide in the DMs.
Slide in the DMs.
Solicited. This is solicited sliding.
Consensual.
Central sliding. All right, James, what you got for us, pal?
Quite a lot, actually. I'm not going to jump straight into Super League.
Are you teasing it? I like that.
I am.
Big hosting as well.
There you go. I'm learning from Paolo. Jake Paul won a fight this weekend. Surprise,
Fixed.
surprise.
It was fixed.
There is other news in sport.
That guy took a dive. That fatty took a dive.
Apparently it was fixed. Apparently it wasn't. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. But Jake Paul won this weekend. Silenced a lot of people. Although I did say that Ben Askren does look like an awkward seal when he does do MMA or fighting in general. So,
well, he looked like a woman in their third trimester before entering that. So glad he got knocked out.
What the hell was that all about?
How big is his tummy? He was wobbly everywhere on his body.
So I don't know. So it was a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Does he fight at all, or is it just
Yes.
publicity?
No, he's
okay,
into
so,
it.
okay, right.
He takes
He's 3-0.
Well, he doesn't
Okay.
fight like he takes it
like
seriously.
for the lols.
Well, he takes it seriously.
Okay.
Like as
And
a serious
who was the other guy?
former
Ben Askren.
UFC guy, Ben Askren.
Winner. Has he won how many matches?
He
I don't
was
know.
he was a Bellator champion.
He was
Oh, wow,
a
so
belly.
that's-
He's a belly champion. That's
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Put everything in my belly.
So the word champion. I'm sorry.
No, he took a dive.
You think so? For the bands?
I don't have an opinion on it.
Took
I
a
really
dive.
don't. Did you see him after the fight? He was walking down the tunnel smiling with his
No, he
wife.
took a dive.
Well, because how much? Everyone must have taken a lot of money out of that.
So the numbers came out yesterday. He got 500K as a upfront, and then it was $75 million they made off the pay-per-view. 1.5 million pay-per-views they sold. Oh, it was huge. Ice Cube performed. Justin Bieber performed.
Snoop Dogg was there smoking.
Yeah. No,
Smoking the dope.
no, it was huge. Hey,
That's a
listen,
big thing.
$75 million they made on the
Huge.
pay-per-view. 1.5 million. $50.
And obviously, there's going to be a rematch now.
I don't think so. I think Jake Paul wants to fight Tommy Fury, who's Tyson Fury's brother.
I bet that he will
Not
end
the
up in
move.
hospital there. Yeah.
It will break his nose.
Okay.
No, that's,
and many
that,
others.
because that's a proper fighter. That's Fury family. No, thank you. You don't want any of that. Travelers, British travelers.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
no,
glad
that-
you said it. Yeah.
Their father is like a legendary trainer in like the traveler community. Like they're
Okay.
the Furies.
That's bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is
From
that
like
is
6
beat you
years old.
until you're unconscious.
Yeah. And I've been to traveler fights in the UK. That's not mucking about. They've been doing that since they were children.
It's not malarkey, as you
it
would
ain't
say.
malarkey. Don't. He doesn't want that.
Okay.
Don't put your hand on the stove. That one's hot.
Just
That
like the
one-
caption of the nailed it.
Gotcha.
So yes, that's where we are in the world of boxing. Logan Paul, his brother's going to fight Floyd Mayweather at some point. Floyd Mayweather's also fighting 50 Cent, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god. Listen, if you're a football fan upset about you, shut up.
Yeah.
Look what's happening in other sports.
Oh, that's a piss take. It's a piss take. It's a piss.
You know what I mean? This is a noble sport of man fighting, and we've got 50-year-olds fighting rappers who've notoriously been shot,
Yeah.
fighting YouTubers.
It's true. It's a circus.
God damn it.
Paulo, how do you really feel?
So I feel if you are anti-Super League, shut up
Yeah.
and look what's happening in other sports. At least our sport looks the same. Oh my word.
Well said.
So that's about everything I've got outside of Super League. So let's jump right in, shall
Both
we?
feet. Let's take both feet and just dive in.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what we're doing. So I found this very interesting thing yesterday morning. It was going to be on the show, but then we got sidetracked with F1 and many things happened. We spoke many times.
Yeah, we're a sports show.
We are. So I found this graphic that is on the screen currently.
Okay.
It says, FIFA, you allowed the stadiums to be built in poor working conditions for underpaid constructors. UEFA, you allowed a Europa League final between two London teams to take place in Baku and isolate fans. BT Sport, you charged us £15 pay-per-view to watch Burnley versus Watford. This is your fault. I wanted to see what you guys thought on this, especially with the BT Sport thing's fairly obvious. But just in terms of FIFA and UEFA underpaying constructors.
So can I pick up here?
Go ahead.
I haven't given my full thoughts on this, and they're all full.
Go
I can't believe that we're in a situation, I'm not the only one saying this, where UEFA and FIFA are the good guys.
Yes.
Where Bayern Munich come out and take the high ground about the integrity of sport, where they buy all their competitors' best players. Make no qualms about it. No COVID, Timo Werner and Kai Havertz are playing for Bayern Munich. Okay? The 2 best players from your competitors at the end of last season, you would have taken them. Now you're talking moral high ground. I said it to you guys yesterday on the WhatsApp group. Porto, Pentecosta, the most crooked man in football, is being praised because he turned down blood money. I guarantee you right now, Porto were not offered one of the non-relegation places. They were offered a relegation place. Offering him one on non-relegation places, he's not saying no. So let's be honest. This is a man who it's never stuck. There's been match-fixing allegations. There's been referees being paid off. There is other players being paid off. There is third-party dodgy ownership. Allegedly. There is like clickbait, whatever you want to call it, factories in Brazil of players just being dragged. So now,
allegedly,
he's a good guy. Okay, this is what happened. That all these villains, now they're the good guys. Okay. So this is what's happened, right? Same thing with this FIFA, UEFA, and all this. If they're part of the problem, the 3 of us here, every South African, everybody not living in the UK that pays a TV subscription, we are part of the problem.
Yes.
Each one of us who has ever gone to Total Sports or wherever you do and bought a Manchester United or a Chelsea or a Liverpool shirt, we are part of the problem. Every time you downloaded your team's app and maybe paid for exclusive content, we are part of the problem.
I've done all of those things. I feel like a terrible person.
You know why? Because they went, hold on a second, we're Africa, right? We're sitting right at the bottom of Africa. We're a tiny market. They don't even bring their trophy to us anymore to see. No. Budweiser bring a replica. We don't even see the proper trophy anymore.
Lucas Radebe doesn't take it around the country.
No, we don't see anything, right? And they went, hold on a second. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. If we're doing that, imagine it's happening 100, 200-fold in India. Hold on a second. Look at this. States. And that's what gave them the balls to go, forget Manchester, forget London, who cares? They're going to burn a few shirts. I don't care about them. The league has gone on without a fan and have the revenues dipped. Everyone got over it. They got over the sound effects. So we're all complicit in this because they sold us a product. We all bought it. Now they want to ramp up that product. I mean, I've got no connection to Manchester. Nothing. No connection. I support the team because then it wasn't called branding. It was legend and storytelling. I bought what they were selling me, which was legend. And then it all happened with the Premier League era and all that. We're all part of the problem here. We gave them the balls to make this move.
Couldn't agree more.
Look at that.
Listen, I said yesterday.
And I thought I was triggered. Can I just say? I thought I was triggered about this whole thing. Paolo?
No, you were triggered. Paolo's speaking from a place of truth. Passion.
I don't know if I agree with the Super League or not. Will it make any damn difference to anybody? I really don't think so. We'll look 15 years down the line and forget all about this.
Yeah.
Sport needs to change. UEFA are so quick to kick players out for threatening their bottom line, but yet they do nothing on racism.
Yeah.
You know, so football needs to change. Let's be honest about it. The sport needs to move with the times.
Sure.
This is drastic. But that's a different conversation. We are all part of the problem because we gave them the balls to make this move.
Listen, you've nailed it. I said yesterday on the show, there's nothing I find more despicable on planet Earth than people who get upset at people for who they are. So, Paolo, if I knew you were an aggressive person and I get in a relationship with you and we go out and you fight somebody at a restaurant, I should be angry at myself.
Yeah.
You are being who you are. When you allowed billionaires to buy every single club, did you think billionaires would go down to the local corner market and go, guys, what are the best conditions we can create for you guys to sustain your business for the next family member to come and take it over? Is that what people honestly thought? Don't be angry at billionaires. You know what billionaires do?
Make billions.
Thank you. And to make billions, you innovate. You know what the problem is? UEFA, and also, again, same analogy. Don't be angry at people for who they are. I've always said this. I cannot handle pen pushers, right? Is because pen pushers we can pay anywhere. I can get an accountant anywhere. Great accountants are everywhere. Dime a dozen. UEFA's filled, FIFA is filled with pen pushers. They are politicians.
Protecting their little piece of land.
That's what they... So I said inherently their mandate is the problem. Is people that make rules hold things back, right? So for me... Nobody wants to get divorced. Liverpool don't want to leave UEFA. They don't want to leave FIFA. Folks, when people get divorced in life, that divorce isn't happening at that moment in the lawyer's office. There has been events going on in the background. We know there's been a power grab attempt before from all the big big clubs. We know a couple of years Karl-Heinz Rummenigge led a meeting with UEFA. They didn't listen then. What did UEFA think was going to happen when 12 of the smartest people in the world, and I say that because they're all billionaires,
and
sat in a room?
Have made billions out of sports.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not talking tech billionaires who coming in and trying. These guys are NFL owners who have done this in the NFL, moved teams out of cities. If they don't care about moving an NFL team out of a city, they're going to care about you burning a shirt.
I will not defend FIFA and UEFA here because nobody gets out of a marriage unless there's problems. UEFA and FIFA are inherently problematic. They have not evolved in 50 years.
No.
It is a bunch of pen pushers, and this is what happens when smart, because they don't need FIFA. This idea that, you won't be able to play in the World Cup. What have I said on the show before? Cancel international football.
Guess what? We'll make our own World Cup. You think they're scared? They'll make their own.
You know what? I go to Lewandowski tomorrow. Like, be a grown-up now. You got 2 kids. You got a wife. You got a mortgage. Use your own life.
You're 29 years old, and you one injury away from career being over.
And I say to you, how do you feel about earning £600,000 a week instead of £200,000? Folks, if you're in your job right now, you're earning 30,000 Rand. I say to you, come and work for me, 100,000 Rand a month. Stop it. Let's get off your high horse. You're not going to be able to play international football. Get over it.
I said to James just before the show exactly that, is that all these players negotiating their next contracts in a Super League context, Bruno Fernandes and James Milner and everyone who's had a say, Ander Herrera, it's easy for him. Okay, you've all had your say and it's great and the players need to do it, whatever. But when you have your next negotiation with that money on the table, you're not negotiating 300,000 a week. You're negotiating NBA money. NFL money. That's what you're negotiating suddenly. All of a sudden, a principle is not a principle till you're prepared to lose money over it. I'm doing what you're doing now. And no one.
You've nailed it.
No one will do that.
And I don't want to hear, I need to stop hearing this narrative. What about the players? Shut the hell up. The players are going to benefit more than anybody. All of them that are getting sanctimonious now, stop it. Because when Roman Abramovich, and I love Roman, listen, I don't like church boys. When Roman Abramovich came to Chelsea, we know some of the stuff he comes with. You picked up your check then. Don't get moral high ground on me now. Do not do it. Qatar's going to happen where you're not going to play. Because, you know what, I never heard a single England player saying I'm pulling out of Qatar on their moral high ground. I don't want to hear it.
Now suddenly some Norwegian players are wearing T-shirts. That's the extent of their protest.
I don't want to hear from these players. Like, you know, it's this new age is pander to the media. Stop. Like, please, don't do that. As football fans, we love the game. And listen, I got no problems. Get paid. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do what you're doing now. It's patronizing.
You know, you bring up the point of Abramovich and United. I feel most sorry for Liverpool supporters. And by and large, they're the ones most upset by it because they really did not see this coming. The Glazers came into United from day one. We are here to make money. That is our only objective. We don't care. We're making money for ourselves. And guess what? We're putting a guy in there who made us money to make us even more money. So we knew something's coming. The Glazers have been in for money. Abramovich is there for money. He's not. He's more, at least more than the Glazers. He's a football fan. Liverpool supporters, they got sold. You'll never walk alone. More than a club. You guys really got sold it.
Yeah.
Did you not think they're not going to do this to you?
You know what angle we were sold?
Oh, I'll tell you what. John W. Henry is one of the biggest swag owners in the world as well, with the model girlfriend. And he's just there like quiet with his James Square glasses.
Huge.
You know what angle we were sold? Is that, and I've said it before on the show, is, you know how I said that Liverpool are one of the few clubs that still try and look after
I remember that.
the weekly wages of the players, not to give them 500k a week. So Liverpool fans were sold this thing of, we're a club that looks after the smaller guy. Right? We're more than a club. We are a family. You'll never walk alone. We look after the small guy. We don't want your big money here. We have our star players. We don't need to pay them millions a week outside of their brand sponsors. And then you come out and you say that you're part of this 3.5 billion euro. And
and how's about this? I don't know if you saw this. The official Liverpool statement, the official statement on the Liverpool website. Guess who it quoted? Joel Glazer.
I thought they were
not a shot.
On the official Liverpool website, the official statement about this, quotes the owner of Manchester United.
Vice chairman of the European Super League.
You guys got sold. They sold you for years.
You know
They
what
sold
proves-
you for years.
You know what proves that we got sold? John W. Henry is also one of the vice chairmen on the Super League
James,
board.
I want to cup your face right now and make you feel better. Folks, if you were in here, James didn't watch his team last night. This has to be a bit of a train smash. A kick in the gut sack for you there, James, huh?
It is because, you know, you do buy into that whole more than a club stuff. And, you know, I've sat through Liverpool games where we've been in semi-finals and I've sat until, you know, like extra time and then penalty shootouts, and then we've lost it and we've, you know, been kicked out of a cup semi-final or whatever. I sat through the Liverpool-Barcelona 4-0 game. We got beat 4-0 by Barcelona and I still watched it to the end. I watched the second leg. I watched us come back. I watched us play Dortmund in the Europa League where Dejan Lovren scored the winning goal. Of all people.
And then you told him to get the hell out of here.
But
That's
James, I will guarantee you something right now. I'll tell you right now. The semi-final, whatever, of the Super League, however it works out, you will do exactly the same. You're the product. We all are. I'll do the same. I'm not gonna be saying I will watch it. I'm the product. I'm the eyeballs that they bought.
Listen,
And they had the balls. We gave them the balls to do that.
great point.
We're gonna do it.
You're going to watch it, James, huh? And I think Paolo's dead right.
You will watch it. And when they make their own World Cup, you will watch it. And we'll forget all about this time. That's just progress.
And that's what sucks because what else am I going to do? I'm going
Exactly.
to watch Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates.
When the Glazers
nice stab
bought,
at the PSL there, yeah.
well, you don't know what plans I have.
yeah.
The breakaway.
Yeah. We played in the South.
When
Robertson versus Pirates is the
it's gonna
PSL,
be huge.
Yeah.
I'm selling the rights to Showmax. We're gonna broadcast every game. When the Glazers bought United and they went off and made Salford FC or whatever the Beckhams and that own, I don't care. I'm not gonna go watch fourth division out of principle.
Oh, not a shot.
I want to watch it. I don't. And the response is very English because one of the big things I've been looking is what's the response in Italy and Spain? Almost zero. Because Barcelona and Real Madrid their fans realize this is what they need. Barcelona are €1 billion in debt.
$1.2 billion in debt.
That's dollars, right?
Oh, no.
Well, it's the same difference.
Euros.
It's $1 billion.
You're
Whatever
correct.
it is,
Yeah.
it's a lot
Yeah.
in debt. They don't get out of this. Okay. The other options, the club disappears. Juventus Inter Milan are a money pit. AC Milan are owned by a hedge fund. Okay. What's a US hedge fund going to try to do? They're going to try to get their money back. And all those fans realize, Inter fans, if they don't do this, their club goes. Okay? So it's a very English thing because the English come from a position of privilege. Everyone else, it is a necessity. The German clubs are in financial health. They're fine. PSG are fine. Everyone else involved in this is not English. Need it because they're on death's door.
You brought up such a great point. I have no empathy for the English FA. A bunch of pen pushers. So it's not the FA, it's the Premier League.
They did the same. Sorry, at one point, another Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So sanctimonious. Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher. Hello. Sky Sports did exactly the same thing a few years ago. Now your bottom line is being compromised.
Also,
You got something to say about it?
the owners and chairman of the European Super League will take Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville.
Having said that, great plug. If you go and look for the interview on Cliff Central Sport here on YouTube after you watch this, we had a guy called John Smith on here who was part of that original cast who established the Premier League. You can go and listen as to why they formed the breakaway league.
Not
that
the
was known.
rugby player John Smith.
No, that's John Smith.
Maybe people didn't hear the Smith.
It's the classic Smith dilemma.
Exactly.
Oh, Socrates.
Look at us.
Yeah. And to finish off on this, on a serious note, here's the thing. If you're a Man United fan, you've seen this coming, actually. I know you didn't observe it. You remember the gold and green scarves?
Yeah.
The smart Man United fans saw this coming.
Yeah.
So to the smart people who've been looking and they didn't get caught up in the romance, like James putting their heart on their sleeve and getting it crushed, they saw it coming. And here's the thing about football, and I've said this before, and I don't think people have taken me seriously. Number one, football was not designed. So in every society, things are not the tacit things you can touch. So it's not just the shopping malls you can put up and the BMWs that can drive around. There's something called the fabric of the society. football was not formed to be a product. I must be very, very clear about that. I do love football. It is the most important thing. I want to be very honest. In my life, football is the most important thing. I try and read as much about it as I can. Association football was about working class people associating. It's literally called association soccer. That's what it is. So we have a philosophical dilemma at the moment. This is deeper than just money. It feels to people, football clubs, to the people on the ground, and all of us really, to an extent, we know it. There's an existential dread beneath all of the money. We justify it every day. But to the communities, it's not just that they're going to move away. They feel literally like they're losing a part of their soul. Now, whether it's true or not is a different story. But you must understand, I've always said on this show, football is the working class ballet. And that's what it is. And when you watch ballet, you watch art, it evokes something in you that you can't explain. And that is the problem here. It's the money thing, whatever. They've had Premier League forever. What they feel like, and this happens in our own lives, right? When do people get upset? When they feel excluded. And the only way not to exclude people, and my mother always used to say this to me, if you want to be understood, and billionaires don't do this to anybody, in life, if you want to be understood, you must explain yourself. The billionaires didn't explain themselves, and they took a piece of the heart of the people, right? Football clubs, listen, I've lived in the UK. It's not like we consume it. We just care about the superficial story. There are people who name their houses after their clubs in the UK. And I'm telling you a real thing. There are people who skip work when they lose football matches. This is what it means. It's a part of their daily lives. It is a part of the British fabric. And that's what they feel like they're losing. The money thing, put that aside. It feels like you lied to us about something. It's like your mother or your partner lying to you. That's what it feels like to them. And football was never meant to be a product. But here we are. And listen, because I take football very seriously. I'm looking at it from every angle, and I have British friends, and I live there, and I just know what it means. Keep in mind that football isn't just what you see on the pitch. As the great William Shakespeare said, life is a stage, and we must all play our role. Football is integral to the well-being of millions of British people on a spiritual level. So keep that in mind. What else you got, Jimbo?
I have more, actually.
Did I move you with my Malcolm X speech then?
A little bit. I was thinking about something. I'll bring it up.
That is a change. That brings a nice change.
He wasn't going to create a Phoenix Club. The Shankly FC. So he's thinking, how do I start this?
James was thinking about something that's dangerous for everyone involved.
It's not healthy, I'll tell you that much.
He wanted to join my breakaway PSL league.
Imagine that. Robertsham, Randburg, Baroka in the final, in the Nedbank Cup final.
We're going to be huge.
Massive.
Will I be a player or a coach?
We'll play our games
Yeah.
on a ship in the ocean. And all our matches will be broadcast, like I said, on Showmax.
Yeah. But you can only watch it on your 3310.
Yes,
you
can only watch it, on 3310.
Yeah.
And monthly subscription is 1,000 Rand, but we'll give you 50 Rand back in airtime.
But you must still bring 3 months bank statement.
Yes.
And proof of address.
Oh, that's a given. All right, what else you got, Jimbo? Let's take the next question.
Rio Ferdinand, obviously a stalwart of his club.
Not a bad player.
A legend, has obviously come out. And he has said, the breakaway group of teams, this is a war on football. It's a disgrace, it's embarrassing, and it goes against everything football is about. I can't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm a Man United fan. I love the club, but I can't stand by and support something like that at all.
Sure.
Yeah. You know why?
And he's a Staines guy, by the way, East London born, so he is working class. He gets it.
Exactly. And I think it's what Rio Ferdinand is kind of saying is it also forms part of that the romance in football. And I think why it's hurt so many people like Rio Ferdinand and like myself is
you and Rio, hey? I like that. People like myself and Rio Ferdinand.
I am on the same caliber.
Yeah,
I heard it, but you don't always have to comment on everything.
Sure. All right, sorry, James. What do you and Rio Ferdinand, who have so much in common now, why does it hurt both of you?
So you have teams like Leicester that come around every so often, right? Came out of nowhere.
Liverpool, Leicester, yeah. Blackburn, the likes of those who come out of nowhere and win the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. you have European nights, Liverpool, Barcelona, Liverpool, Dortmund, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Man United, Chelsea. You have all of these massive European nights that have gone down in history for being some of the greatest nights in football ever. And I think, you know, it's the stories that are made big from these big European nights it's sometimes the small club that still stands a chance of winning the Premier League, of qualifying for the Champions League, of winning the Champions League. I mean, Nottingham Forest has won the Champions League twice.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is, with that argument, I get that, right? And I'm just giving an alternative argument because, I mean, we've heard all the negatives. I'm just trying to go, okay, let's maybe be balanced here, right? How do we know we won't get those? How do we know we won't get those moments? And there's still 5 leagues. If Tottenham, or say Arsenal, if Arsenal go on and win the first one, isn't that a good story? Arsenal as they are now. For me, okay, how they got there, whatever. But they got there. Well done.
Sure.
Like, that's a cool story.
Sure. It's a story.
We don't know. What if there's 12 teams, there's space for 8 more teams. What if one of those 8 comes in and the Leicester does get in because they win this big 6-less Premier League or whatever, and Leicester or West Ham win it? Like, is it not?
That would actually be interesting because now all of these teams are wearing these. I know the Leeds players wore the shirts last night that said "Earn It" with the Champions League logo.
Sure.
As warm-up jerseys.
Okay.
That'd be super interesting if they release the qualifying criteria and to see how many of these clubs actually. Our ambition is to get to the European
they say
Super League.
Somebody found the document in their website. There was like unfiltered code.
Okay.
And somebody found the document, and that the league champions of the top 5 leagues will get in as 5 of the teams. So they're trying to get 15 permanent members, and then each season the 5 league champions come back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'll always have 5 theoretically new teams coming in outside of those 15. Okay. So they still on 12, whatever. So there will be smaller teams in it. We don't listen. I very much doubt this ends up this way.
I agree.
There's going to be some compromise, hybrid, something. Okay. Devils dance with devils.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know that. You're going to tell me that the best players and the best teams in the world are going to play rubbish football against each other? Do me a favor. Be worse than West Brom and Burnley. Do me a favor. We're not watching that anyway. Now all of a sudden, West Brom, Burnley.
Yeah. Look, since time immemorial, the surviving narrative is David Goliath, right? Because for football is a play. It is, right? David Goliath. That we know. That's probably, especially in the economic system we've chosen for the global economy. Everyone likes to see the little guy get one over. There's something in us, you know, whether it's genetic, whether it's we understand, hey, it's us versus the banks, whatever it is deeply in us, innately in us, is that we do like to see. And a lot of football, I think what we're going to lose now is that hope. Because every team knows they're not going to be in the top 4. Like, the Wolves aren't stupid. But if you're a Wolves fan, you get up thinking, this is our season, top 6, whatever, you know. Hope is what keeps football going. At the beginning of every season, your transfer window is the best. Oh, we've turned around. We've solved our left back problem. We were 7th last season, definitely going in the top 4. You know, I think that part of it's lost is a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the romance side of it. I think sometimes because we consume it so superficially, we just get the end product.
Yeah.
That we sometimes forget that this football is art. You know, there's so much happening. And I'm with you, Paulo. How do we know? Again, things change, right? Things change. People said, if I said to you, Paulo, you've got a child, right? I said to you, Paulo, one day, if I said to you 15 years ago, Paulo, I'll tell you what you're going to do one day. You know this daughter of yours that you made and you've put some love into and your wife's put all her time into and you know that whole human creature you created? You're going to say to her, hey, get in a stranger's car and we're going to send you to Uncle Malcolm's house or whoever. What did you have said to me 15 years ago?
Yeah, you're nuts. I know where you're going with this. Exactly. Exactly.
And today, 6-year-olds go to school in an Uber,
Yep.
and we don't think about it.
Yep.
So, like, I understand the emotional reaction, but things are things.
The fundamental thing is European football has to change. And the new Champions League structure, wait till you see what that's all about.
Yeah.
Because all it's going to do is give us more rubbish games between more rubbish teams. And I 100% understand the big teams argument.
Wait, sorry. By the way, didn't UEFA launch a new
That's what I'm saying.
Champions League? Is that out?
That was
They
out
released it
yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh, is that out?
36 teams. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Your timing is impeccable.
so that's out. UEFA Champions League still a thing. I forget
Yes.
this.
Like, I mean, I got skin in the game here, right? Sporting, hopefully win the Portuguese Championship, right? They get in the Champions League with Liège. I'm watching it because that's my club.
Yes.
Are you watching that game?
I am not.
You're not
I
watching that
would
game.
rather boil my fingers.
That's what I'm saying. And I 100% understand the argument going, hold on a second. We got all these games, 100 odd, 200, whatever. Okay? But Manchester United versus Barcelona, PSG versus Bayern, Spurs versus Juventus. That's what people are watching. That's making the money. Why is Sporting and Liège getting the same money that we're getting?
Well
I
said.
100% understand that
I
argument.
also. I'm well said, Paolo. Well said. And,
Lelo, to your point about the Uber, right? The three of us are sitting here on a thing that is an establishment. It is a rocks the establishment. It challenges big media, challenges TV. Before we could only do this if we had a TV show. Before we could only do this if we were on radio. We don't need to wait for that anymore. The world has moved. So we sit in an anti-establishment forum and we're going to go, I decry an anti-establishment. It's billionaires, right? Who cares? Billionaires make money.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is behind it, things have to move.
absolutely.
Has to move. We can't fall apart over it.
Nailed it, Paolo. And for me, I'm not going to decry. You know whose fault it actually is. And I don't know.
Ed Woodward.
And Ed Woodward, Fergie,
And Sal
David
Giggs.
Gill.
Sal Giggs. Ryan Giggs'
Sheikh
fault as
Mansour.
well.
Oh, Giggs, yeah, he is a slippery character. He was probably involved.
John Terry.
He's
Definitely John Terry. John Terry was somehow.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a bridge too far.
Again, you guys. Stop it. James doesn't get it. He's
No,
lost.
No, I do, and
Okay.
I'm more hurt.
No, I think it has to come out now, right? Sorry, guys. FIFA and UEFA. This is directly at your door.
You had the time to change.
So, I don't. How are FIFA and UEFA getting a break in this? Like, the last 15 years didn't happen. We didn't read the books. If you think Infantino is clean, and he was the right-hand man to Jerome Falca and Sepp Blatter for 15 years,
No.
The
you're laughing.
irony of a UEFA president calling other people snakes.
You're laughing.
Do me a
I
favor.
laughed my head off last
Do me
night
a
when I read
favor.
that.
Guys, we saw. Are you telling me Seferin, right? Who's the UEFA president right now? What did Platini do? They sold all French football to Qatar. Seferin didn't know.
No one knew. Come on.
It was just Platini, and Platini's gone now, and UEFA's super clean. Do me a favor and grow up. Do me a favor and grow up. Like, it is UEFA's fault and it's FIFA's fault. And if you don't like that, you can go straight to hell with them.
And
James?
you had warnings.
Yeah,
you
you did.
had 10, 15 years of warnings.
Yeah.
You did.
No, I mean, James, what you got?
A couple of questions from today's show.
Yeah.
Quite a few. I do see time is running out slowly but
Take
surely.
one or two questions.
One or two questions. Let's have a look. Mbulelo, Rika says, Mbulelo, you always say it's the third divorce, then maybe you are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If he had done such a great job at Man United, he would not have got sacked.
Who, Jose?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think the problem, I don't care how talented you are. So, Rick's point taken. Man United's a mess. I don't care. You could have Alex Ferguson in his prime at the current United setup, and he'd fail. No amount of talent can overcome chaos. Cristiano Ronaldo is still one of the greatest players on this planet. Juventus is a mess right now. Juventus institutionally is a mess right now.
Sure.
Andre Pirlo should be nowhere near it. Cristiano Ronaldo is top 3 in the game today. I don't mean this is still prime Ronaldo. He's an animal. He couldn't get Juventus over the line. No individual can overcome any sort of institutional chaos. I don't care who you think you are.
You know, actually, it's another thing we didn't speak about. Like, for everyone going, oh, European Super League, what? Look at the clubs of the people running this thing, okay? Barcelona are a billion in debt. This is one of the men running it. Arsenal are 10th in the league, have no structure. Appointed a rookie coach.
Yep.
This is one of the men running it. Juventus have not built a team in years, try to plaster over Ronaldo, appointed a Gucci model as coach. This is one of the men running it.
Yeah.
Ed Woodward has taken how many years to sort of get some sort of structure in Manchester United? Appointed a PT coach. This is one of the men running it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just not get too excited.
Yeah. No, it's hey, listen. Also, Europe must get over itself. Maybe it takes America to come and civilize them. Maybe the relegation thing is.
Please, if Americans get involved in.
But what?
Hey, listen.
I love NBA. NBA is great. NBA is great.
Same guy telling me about Avengers the other day, but he wants to insult Americans. James, you can't have your cake and eat it. They built Hollywood. They built the music industry.
That's great for them, but did they build football?
But they built sports
not a
entertainment,
shot.
and that's
we
what
must,
football is.
But this is the problem with the world, right? Is you know the great? I think it was Thatcher who said America is built on money and Europe is built on history. And you know this idea to romanticize the Europeans, the Western civilization. Get over yourselves. Netflix, Uber, Americans do great things all the time. Stop thinking that you're impervious.
Amazon, Facebook.
Hey, maybe it takes the Americans to come and
Disney.
civilize the whole lot. Listen, I was saying this morning to one of our general manager. I said to him, we were talking about this issue. I said, listen here, if I'm a bank, and I don't like the no relegation thing, but it's because I'm it's so deeply ingrained in me is the sporting thing.
You do. I think of everything, that's what grinds. You need that risk.
Well, and we say
Whilst
that
you have NBA playoffs.
Listen, we say that it's called a collegiate model, right? Where you can't get relegated. NBA, MLB. But what I said was this. Listen, maybe it does take these Americans to come and civilize you and move on from your hit. Because we saw what an economic crisis and the Euros falling apart and the whole union's falling apart, right? Merkel's doing what she can to hold it together. But the Americans say, and I was reading something where they can't understand why do you still have relegation? And I understand how they're thinking about it. If I'm JP Morgan and I come to you guys and we're sitting all here and you go, all right, we're going to do this Super League thing. But every now and then Olympiacos might pop in there. I say, and you expect me to, sorry? You're looking for 100 billion euros for that? Am I sure that Olympiacos don't stay in for 3 years and the product tanks? Because there are Arsenal fans in the whole of Africa who aren't going to watch the Olympiacos here. Excuse me, I don't care about that. Am I guaranteed as a bank to get my money back? I'm not insuring a league where you're getting relegation promotion. I understand where the economic side of it comes from. Am I saying it's right, James? As a football fan, of course I don't want it. But maybe no relegation. If you want the money, JP Morgan says, all right, you're telling me Real Madrid, AC Milan, guaranteed the biggest product. And make no mistake, football is the biggest entertainment factor in the world.
Because who's to say that highly motivated best footballers in the world reach a point and go, okay, well, we actually can't go anywhere. We're stuck. Shackles are off. Let's play amazing football. And they play some of the best football we've ever seen. Who knows? We don't know. We're judging a thing off a logo and a press release.
And also, hey, James, take yourself to this world. 2028 Champions League final.
The same year we have the 2020 Olympics.
yeah. At the same time, actually. It's happening at the same time.
And the 1998 Eurovision Song Contest.
That's it. Oh my God. West Brom against FC Cluj in the Champions League final.
Is this now Champions League, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
2028. Take yourself there, James. West Brom, FC Cluj, Champions
You know what
League
made
final.
me laugh this morning?
But they would still be pretty good teams because even Europa League, as you knock it, as it gets to the Final Four, there's good teams in there.
Yeah.
So that it's not
Well, I mean, it's Man United and
rubbish
and
West
Arsenal.
Brom there.
Oh, it's Man United. Arsenal.
Well,
It's close enough.
So Arsenal can't even beat Burnley in the Premier League at the moment. Now they must play Barcelona every second week is something that is on my mind.
Yeah, no, listen, it's going to be a situation. All right, should we take one more question? We actually have something to get to that I want to get to.
We do.
So let's take one more question.
Mr. Desigan.
Oh,
he's
Mr.
back. Well done.
Mr. Desigan.
Well addressed.
Mr. Desigan is in the comments again. Mr. Desigan says, how can you say Jose is not the issue?
Because I've seen the trophies. You know, people get in their fields about... Here's the thing. You know what I've always said about my leadership? I want to dislike a part of them. Because at some stage, your leadership is going to have to make a decision that goes against your best interests. All of us are selfish. Whenever I see a leader, I want to dislike a part of them. And Jose Mourinho is perfect for me because I know he's going to be... but he's going to win. And there's nobody else outside of Pep. I'm sorry, go and look at it over the last 10 years, and I look at trends. I'm not interested in what you've done in the last year. In life, I say this. Take out your best year, take out your worst year. That's not what you are. Everything in between that, that's what you are. Take out Jose's best year, take out Jose's worst year, and go and put his CV against anybody in the history of football in the last 10 years. Forget it.
Hopefully Jose can win you guys an oversized dinner plate sometime soon. Community Shield, eh?
An oversized dinner plate, he says. All right, that's good stuff. That was
Look, in all honesty, we didn't win it against Arsenal at the beginning of the season, so I guess I can't say much. Eh?
Are we legitimately having a conversation about the Community Shield?
Listen, Liverpool and Man United makes sense. You haven't won in a long time, so
We gave. And listen, just to close off that section about everything about the European Super League, I would prefer it if it didn't come, if it didn't happen. But I just think it's fair to give another side of it, just give another opinion of going, we all in the fields, like you say. But maybe just look at it from a different point of view, and from a fan's point of view who is in no way linked to the city, the town, the fabric of the club I support, where it comes from. I support them, and I'll say it from a 12, 13-year-old when I probably supported them. I supported them because they were a good product. They are a winning product. And that's the approach I come from. Am I wrong or right?
100%.
Let's look at it from a different point of view.
Answer this, Paulo. That's a great point. Before we move on, what about this? Isn't it great that somebody's taking on FIFA and UEFA? Just to say, listen, also, these billionaires were hut full of you guys. We can't rely on you because you're corrupt and you're dirty and the money never gets to the unions that you say it is. What's happening with our money? Because what's great about billionaires is they think they're the stars in everything. So when UEFA keep telling them you can't come and play at World Cups, okay, what's happening with the money, gents? Why every 6 years does the FBI have to pop over to Zurich?
Yeah.
Because we work... Listen, 10 Rand is still 10 Rand for a billionaire.
Yeah.
We work bloody hard to churn out these revenues. What are you up to? Because we're hearing women complaining about not getting paid all the time. The billions we make. And because remember, every club is forced to pay an exorbitant number to FIFA to be a member, and UEFA separately, by the way. Where's the money? And UEFA has what answers?
Yep.
So please, let's not defend these guys. I like that they're getting somebody smacking them. They're smacking him in the mouth.
It's a time for disruption.
Smack him in the mouth, James.
Like Jake Paul did.
Yeah, like Askren. Oh, jeez, I hope the baby's okay that Askren was carrying in his stomach.
That's a good analogy. That is a very good analogy. And it's a good analogy.
Yeah. All right, let's finish off the show with... James is about to...
Paulo, educate me.
Well, I was about to say, James is about to go through something which he didn't go through at all at AFTA. Right? Not a single day at AFTA was what this segment is going to be. It's going to be educational and actually useful in your life. AFTA, a wasted... How long was AFTA?
3 years.
My God. So you're telling me your mother spent 3 years of family money that somebody had to sweat for? 3 years at AFTA, huh?
No, I also went to like an artistic type of school.
What kind? Did you go to Montessori?
No. I went to an advertising school.
Oh, my God. What a waste. And Paulo's like a street smart guy as well. Paulo would have been fine without AFTA. James, I don't know so much about you.
Got to add it.
Yeah.
I managed to get home safely.
I'm surrounded by hipsters.
So I have to scratch off AFTA as potential advertisers in the show. Let me just good.
No.
That's
listen.
probably a good idea.
Good point for me.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're going to get into... we're going to go down memory lane. Because we're a big production show, we didn't really give this segment a name, but we probably should because we're going to be going forward with it. We'll think about it. Nothing on the fly. We're a big production show, but James is about to go down memory lane with Paulo. Paulo, take it away, pal.
I actually called it Paulo Schools, James.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I said, a big production. We spoke about it intensely before the show, and that just slipped under the radar.
No, exactly. It was our pre-prod for the week actually got thrown into disarray due to circumstances outside of our control.
Correct.
So anyway, what I want to do is we're having a conversation the other day about how old James was, and James was born in 1997. 1997.
It's crazy.
He was born in 1997, right? So I was like, oh my God. Your first, I don't know how we came to Euros and not World Cups. It's the first Euro that happened after you were born was Euro 2000, which I said was probably the best tournament in the history of, certainly in my history of tournaments. Even despite Portugal winning Euro 2016, Euro 2000 was this amazing top-class tournament.
Yeah.
Okay? So now the Euros as we know them now weren't always a full-team tournament. they used to be like a semi-final and a final. So teams across Europe would play qualifiers, and then they'd meet for like a 14 tournament, pretty much like the Nations League is now.
That's wild, actually.
Yeah. 92 was the first time that it expanded. There was an 18 tournament. 1996 was the first time it went to a 16-team tournament and became a legit, lots of groups, lots of teams, month-long tournament. Okay. And started to rival the World Cup.
Yeah.
If you think, because I mean, even nowadays you don't get a bad game. It may change now because Euros gets bigger.
Yeah. But Euros is actually better than the World Cup.
It is. Because even people go, oh, add in Brazil and Argentina. So no, I don't agree with you. Brazil and Argentina are horse stuff. They're not good teams.
No, Euros, every team is always like a Poland is like the worst team or like a Sweden.
Yeah, and they'll give you a game.
They're proper teams.
They'll give you a game.
That's a great point.
Yeah, so if you see a big game. So Euro 96 was the first time that they had this big tournament, and perfectly happens in England at the time of Premier League. So it's all the razzmatazz that comes with the Premier League put into a Euro. Works very well. So there's lots of innovation happening in Euros at the time. Euro 2000, which we're going to talk about today, is the first tournament that was co-hosted by two countries. World Cup 2002, co-hosted. Euro 2000, Belgium and Netherlands. Hosted Euro 2000.
Good man.
I know who won the Euro 2000.
Good man.
The wrong team. The wrong team won.
Okay.
The wrong team won Euro 2000. Now, one of the things that happened with Euro 2000 is that hooliganism was a big concern, because obviously now you're talking Dutch and Belgian hooligans. Those boys are hardcore. And once England qualified and Germany, everyone got a little bit panicked because that we're going to have non-stop fights. And there were quite a few in Charleroi. I do remember a lot of fans.
Yeah.
A lot of fans.
Kiss your mother with that now.
I do. So, I mean, you had a group where England were playing Germany. So there was lots of hooligan concern, but never really.
Because things have been all right between those countries since 1945, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it never really came to the call. Listen to the roll call of teams that were in this Euro. Germany, who had as recently as 1990 won the World Cup. Good side. Well, 96 they won the Euro. Yes, 96 they won the Euro.
Yeah, they did.
So they were going into this Euro
as champions.
That's Klinsmann.
Yeah.
Euro champions and World Cup champions.
Yeah, so exactly.
That's Klinsmann, huh?
Yep. Won the 1990 World Cup, 96 Euro.
Different Jurgen, by the way.
Top side.
Good Jurgen. the good Jurgen, yeah.
Romania, who, not Romania of now, still carried over a lot of the team from the 94 World Cup. Did very well, Haji's team.
Oh, Haji, by the way, special player.
England, with the early bits of the golden generation, but definitely United's treble players. Beckham, Neville, Scholes. But they were all in there. Belgium weren't the Belgium of today. They were a little bit of a roughshod side. Without being hosts, they wouldn't have qualified. Sweden had a young Zlatan. Turkey were a good side then. Italy, Maldini, Nesta.
They were a team.
I mean, they had taken the best of the 94 World Cup and then now added some of these. Nesta, Cannavaro.
What a team that was.
Inzaghi. A couple of extra guys in there.
Oh, what a team that was. Vieri.
Vieri was in there.
What a team.
Spain.
Oh, that's my boys.
Not the Spain that they went on to become. This was
They weren't that Spain then.
Raul was the best player in the Spain side.
Luis Enrique, that was that team. Hey,
Yeah.
Pep would have been on the bench then.
So they weren't
Piero,
they weren't the Spain
Helguera.
remembered today. No, yeah. So just before that La Masia sort of team came through, but not the Spain that went on to dominate. Slovenia were making their tournament debut. Netherlands, now we're talking.
Oof.
Now we're talking. The Ajax side, Patrick Kluivert, Seedorf, Davids, Overmars,
Van der Sar.
Reisiger. Home tournament.
Damn.
Home tournament. Czech Republic.
The De Boer brothers.
The Boer brothers
Oh
were in
my
there.
God, are you kidding me? That team. And they,
That was a side. Van Nistelrooy was in there. Young Van Nistelrooy.
Van Hooijdonk would have been in that mix.
Van Hooijdonk was in there. Czech Republic also had a couple of good players. Nedved, Patrick Berger, Jan Koller. Well, not Jan Koller. I've got the wrong one. Also a big, bald striker.
No, Jan Koller
Wasn't he German?
No. Jan Koller
I'm thinking of the right guy.
Yeah, but Dortmund. Listen, one of the greatest players to ever play football is in that team, by the way. He doesn't get the respect he deserves because I was reading an Italian book about football, and when they were telling the legendary stories about Juventus, he's now the Ed Woodward at Juventus right now.
Much better hair.
Had a mop of hair, has always...
Still has it.
Yeah, and it must be a wig. I'm convinced it's a wig. Him and Willian
Has
wear a
to be
wig.
something.
This guy would pitch up, James. He looks like a female lead singer of an indie band you might listen to with your after friends. He was always at practice 2 hours early, is what guys are saying. He was on the bike for 2 hours before training would start. His name's Pavel Nedved. He's in that Czech team. He is one of the most sensational things you've ever seen in your life. Obviously, went on to win the Euro Player of the Year.
You're right, super underrated. Also in that side was Karl Poborski
Karol Poborski
of Manchester United
Indeed,
fame.
yeah.
Now, Czech Republic obviously lost the 96 final against Germany. Denmark in there, and then a French team that had
Zidane.
the World Cup winners, but started to add in Henry, Anelka, that sort of Clairefontaine group started to come into the side.
That team must have been insane.
So you had the old school
Karimbo,
mixed in with
Thuram,
Vieira, Henry,
Anelka.
Anelka was in there.
Bartes,
So the tournament was...
Lisa Razu.
And I forgot to mention, of course, I left them for last, Portugal. This is now the maturation of the golden generation. 96, Portugal went out early to Czech Republic. Lots of things expected. We came into this, Figu, Goicosta, Paul Souza, Pauleta, everyone, top class, Nuno Gomes. Everyone was in their prime. They were ready to go. Mm-hmm. And of course, Portugal ends up in the group of death with England and Germany. First game, go down to England 2-0.
Soz.
Tournament over. Guys, halftime tournament over, 2-0. We're done. Come back to win 3-2.
Lol. Sorry, I'm just adding acronyms.
You can do it. We beat Romania the next game. Final game of the group playing Germany. World champions, Euro champions. What is going to happen?
Wait, between Portugal and Germany?
Portugal and Germany.
I reckon Germany won.
Sergio Conceição, Porto coach, and he who hates Chelsea.
He does hate Chelsea.
Scores a hat-trick against Germany.
Some player he was.
Current Porto coach. He wasn't even a starter. Portugal could play a second-string side against Germany because we were through. And we still beat them with a hat-trick by Sergio Conceição.
And he was a dirty bugger, but a superb technical winger.
Great winger, but he's going to kick you.
Yeah.
He's gonna let your mother know about it. You'll see your mother dancing with Michael Jackson.
What does that even mean?
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Portugal go through with Romania. England and Germany knocked out first round.
Hectic.
Group B, Italy and Turkey go through. Antonio Conte scoring in a 2-1 win.
And some player he was, by the way. I think another
underrated.
A legendary footballer.
I think what happens
Conte.
is you sometimes forget. You take the manager's career and you forget what a player they were.
My God.
And you sort of like forget. I mean,
He was
Conte,
their Roy Keane.
He was phenomenal. He was great. I remember United playing Juventus in those late 90s. Conte and Keane. Oh my God, that was hatred. Spain and Yugoslavia going through in
That's
Group
my
C.
boys.
France, second in Group D with Netherlands.
Interesting.
They go through. You have a Spain-France matchup in the quarterfinals.
Oof.
Portugal beat Turkey 2-0. Italy take out Romania 2-0. Netherlands hitting Yugoslavia 6-1. I think Kluivert scored Kluivert? Yes, Kluivert scored a hat-trick in that game.
Yeah, and he probably got on the sauce that night.
He
loved the night.
Brutal. No, he loved it. He loved it. Now we get into the semi-finals. Two glamour semi-finals. France, Portugal versus, and then Italy, Netherlands. Massive. Come on, you guys. Euros.
That's the World Cup.
Love it.
It's the final level. It's the dream. Iberian dream as well. They're all in there.
Netherlands who came out, but you're right to say, Kluivert on the sauce. From scoring a hat-trick, Netherlands lost 3-0 to Italy. I think that game was 0-0 in extra time, and that's on penalties.
Who scored the goals for Italy there?
So it was a 0-0 game.
Oh, no, okay.
But in the penalty shootout, Di Biagio, how's that name? Pesotto, remember him?
Yeah.
He was a fullback for Juventus.
Gianluca Pesotto, I think his name is.
Yeah, and Maldini missed a penalty.
Oh.
And then Totti scoring.
Oh, he wasn't bad.
Totti
was in that team.
Even in penalty shootouts.
By the way, sorry, Del Piero's in that team.
Del Piero's in that team.
They've got Vieri, Del Piero, and Totti.
And Inzaghi.
That's
Get out of here. Get
that's
out of
just
here.
everything you've ever wanted.
In the other game, the game that broke my heart, I promise you, I've got to tell you, France, Portugal broke my heart.
Sorry, you've said France there. I've left out a name, and I am embarrassed. The most clinical striker, statistically speaking, I think European football's ever seen. Great light skin, by the way. David Trezeguet, another guy.
Quite correct.
He is one of the best strikers. I've forgotten him.
and he comes in. You would have heard his name later when we talk about the final,
Oh.
because Portugal lose to France in such a controversial game. Holding France very even. Nuno Gomes opens scoring. Nuno Gomes, great hair if we're talking about hair.
Yeah, superb.
He's still got that
flow.
hair. He's some.
What's he doing now? I imagine.
He's a player liaison at Benfica.
Really? he strikes me as the type of guy who'd be living like in Mexico somewhere with a model as his girlfriend. He just owns a beach pub.
He possibly could, but Benfica pay him to be a player liaison. So he deals. He schmoozes.
Yeah, just
That's what he does.
combs
Wears
his hair.
Suits and schmoozes.
Same hair though. Like
Oh, beautiful.
great flow.
Looks the same.
Great flow.
Not aged today, like
Yeah.
me, that
Well,
guy.
I think you don't look a day over 25.
So it's
Paolo.
Thank you.
It's James and Rio Ferdinand and you and Nuno Gomes.
Oh God, I love Nuno Gomes.
Man, it's good
Love,
stuff. Yeah.
beautiful man.
Yeah.
Same calibers. here.
Oh,
Huge.
hey, I'm on it.
Who do you have yourself to compare to?
I bow down at your
No
feet.
one.
I bow down at your feet.
Thierry Henry scores an equalizer in that game. 1-1.
No handball though, huh?
Takes the game to extra time. Tense game. But two sides evenly matched. As strong as France were, that's how Portugal were. Abel Xavier,
Oh my God! Also, madman looks like a
Liverpool legend,
looks like a gorilla would dye his hair all the time.
played for Liverpool and Everton.
Yo,
That
opens
is just a horrible choice.
He played for Liverpool and Everton.
and a physical freak. That
Oh,
guy.
he had crazy peroxided hair.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
And I liked his move. Was I'm not gonna just peroxide my hair. You better
No.
believe my beard's being
Everything.
peroxided as well all the time.
And
Great
more.
beard.
I bet you everything
Yeah.
was peroxide on that man.
What you're saying there is the curtain matches the carpet.
Everything.
The carpet matches the dress.
Dimas, South African-born Dimas. There's a pub trivia. Name the South African-born player that played in the Euro 2000 semi-final.
Demish.
Dimas Teixeira. Born in South Africa, played for Portugal. Played for Juventus, played for Benfica.
Wait, how do you
This is why-
spell
this
this?
is why
dude's name?
Paolo's on.
Dimas.
That's awesome. Okay, I didn't know that.
Born in Joburg.
Yeah, him and Mark Gonzalez, huh?
So, strong side Portugal got Paul Sousa, Abel Xavier, Ronaldo, Figo, Rui Costa, Paletta, Nuno Gomes. Forget about it. Forget about it. The game goes to extra time, going deep. Portugal are holding on for penalties at this point. France are overpowering them. Portugal reckon we can do penalties. The most controversial in Portuguese history because it,
Oh, I remember it.
yes, a French player breaks down on the right, gets behind, flicks the ball up to hit Abel Xavier's hand. Now, this is no VAR. This is no referees behind the line. A penalty is given. The Portuguese players lose their mind. It's 117 minutes. We've played the game of our lives. And this is such a marginal decision that the French player hit the ball into the hand intentionally. You could see it was hit intentionally to the hand.
Was it like a situation where Mane
Like
hit the
Suarez used to
ball-
do.
Oh,
Remember what Suarez used to do?
Yeah.
As he ran on, he'd
Yeah,
always
yeah.
flick the ball.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But without the biting,
Without the biting.
Yeah, obviously not trying to eat the guy.
Very
And,
50-50 decision, but you know, at those times France were world champions, they're going to get every 50-50 call. So they get it penalty. The penalty was awarded in the 117th minute, taken in like the 125th minute. It was just every Portuguese player got booked.
I remember
It
that.
was
Good
just
Lord.
carnage.
Yeah, no, I
One
remember.
day I'll tell you about Portugal's exit from 2002 World Cup.
Oh,
Always went out in a fight. Carnage. Carnage, right? Zidane, of course, Zidane's going to miss a penalty.
oh, it's the boy.
ain't gonna happen.
2000 Zidane, he's going to miss a penalty.
Not
Do
gonna
me a
It's the
favor.
boy.
Scores it, takes France through to the final against Italy. What a game this turns out to be. What do you think is going to happen?
I think. Well, I know who won
You know who
the
wins.
2,000 euros. So
Marco Del Vecchio scores for Italy, holds the game. Scores in the 53rd minute, holds the game.
Another guy. By the way, Roma had something with him. Hey, Del Vecchio at
a good
Roma was some player.
Good player. Holds it. France. They were winners this time. They were winners.
Cutthroat.
Winners.
Thuram, Lizarazu, Carambeau, Vieira, Henry.
None of those. Viltord scores in the 93rd minute. Viltord.
And
Okay.
Ex-Arsenal.
And have some respect, an invincible.
An invincible.
A real player.
Good player.
A real player.
And a player's player.
Yeah, a
Played
real player.
Anywhere. A footballer's football. Played anywhere.
Oh, and
sat on the
superb.
bench. Always.
And also is like punch you in the face.
Always
kinda-
gave you everything.
Top.
That's when Wenger was
Yes.
finding perfect. When he
Yeah.
had the touch, he had just found the right player. Viltord scores another extra time game. And everyone thinks France are going to falter because they played a day. They had a day less rest. And this is where comes in your man, Argentinian-born David Trezeguet.
Legend.
Where's he born? He's born in some small island
Yeah,
in
no,
Argentina. Travel dude.
No, Martinique or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's the Martiniques
Born in
Islands.
Martinique.
That's the connect. Yeah.
Argentina. He went back to play for River Plate. When
Yeah,
he was, yeah.
They love him in Argentina.
Travel
by the way.
player. Really travel player. Scores. Remember that fantastic goal that he scored to win the game. And this was, James, you're not going to know this because they disbanded it. There used to be a concept of both silver goal and golden goal.
I know golden goal. I don't know silver goal.
This was the first and only tournament won by golden goal.
Yeah.
You score, you win. That was Portugal's penalty as well. It was golden goal. Zidane scored 117th minute, game over.
What is silver goal? Sorry.
Silver goal was if you scored, the game carried, if you scored in extra time, the game carried on till the end of that extra time for you to score. So say you're playing in the first lot of extra time,
Oh,
and you score there, you've got until half time to score. Where golden goal, once it's scored, it's done.
Yeah, that's
Right?
game over.
So-
I know that one.
UEFA themselves got a history of stupid ideas.
They do.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So this was the first and only final decided by golden goal. David Trezeguet, mayhem, shirts off, pylons. France become one of the only teams to hold a World Cup and a European Championship at the same time. That was golden era France, who then 2002 World Cup with the same side don't even make it out of the first round, get beat by Senegal.
Don't even.
Lol.
Was it our World Cup or that World Cup where they didn't even score a goal?
It
I think
wasn't ours because they did score against South Africa.
Yes.
South Africa beat them, but they did score against
It was
us.
that goal, and they went in with the top scorer in the Premier League, top scorer in Italy, and top scorer in France in 2002 World Cup, and went out without scoring a goal.
That was hilarious. Who was the coach there? Dominic.
I think it was
That
Dominic.
was Dominic here.
Dominic was here. I don't know
Can't
who was
remember,
coach
but
then.
that was a mess. That was an absolute mess.
But
That's
that was
so
Euro
crazy.
2000. Still, most football writers consider that the best tournament of our lifetimes.
To be honest, I
And
think
the
it's
wrong
the last
team won it.
Yeah.
The wrong team won it. Portugal should have taken it. It was all out.
Thanks for that, Paolo.
I hope you enjoyed that, James.
That was actually a lot of fun.
I enjoyed
like
telling
that.
it.
That
I
was
enjoyed
great.
telling it.
I think we should do an education. Let's educate James segment often.
More often. Let's make up. All right, well, that's good stuff, Paolo. Make up all the 3 years you wasted at AFTA, all your mom's money that you wasted there. Might as well educate you here. Listen, James, good guy, but went to AFTA. Some questionable stuff coming out of there.
What a show today, guys.
What a show.
Great show.
Yo, extra
Great
time.
show.
I've got a lot of stuff to clip.
And we learned so much. I like that, by the way. David Trezeguet, some player. All right, well,
Good stuff.
for today, gentlemen, appreciate you. Paolo, we'll see you when we see you later this week sometime. One of the days later in this week. By the way, big news.
Oh,
I will know hopefully at the end of today whether we can announce this tomorrow. Hopefully we can.
Huge.
Huge.
We're doing a breakaway.
Yeah, that's
Doing
it.
A breakaway
We're actually
show.
creating a
James
Super
and I
League.
going on our own.
it's
We're tired of the tyranny.
Hey, I didn't know about that. I feel
the
like Jurgen
MKT
Klopp right now.
Well, look,
Oh, yeah.
we're the European Super League.
I
You
got you.
are in the dark.
I'm outside.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We're the snakes. You are just.
I'm the coal miner who works in Manchester, and you guys are the Glazers, huh?
I mean, look,
You'll just
when
do as
you're
you
billionaires,
please.
hey?
Hey,
When you're billionaires.
you do what you're going to do. All right. Paolo, appreciate you, my brother. Jembo, that's good to see you. Good to see you. Good work today.
Good stuff.
You know, keeping it fresh, keeping it funky, and
Always.
keeping it after. Keep it after, brother.
Keeping it original. Son.
Ladies and gentlemen, from me, Portugal's president, the third favorite Illingsley son. This is the MKT show. It's been awesome to be with you. And hey, I'm feeling super, despite the league getting a bit of pushback. Let's see how that one works out. To everybody at home, it's been an honor. My name is MKT. This is the MKT show. We are the hell out of here.